Mike.
AM. There we go. Welcome. This is Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
HUDRadio.com. Live from the BMW of Atlantic City studios. BMW of Atlantic City, Rough Exit 17 of the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of Atlantic City.com. Every Wednesday night, though, we are brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com, or right on the book, Gibson Mayer LLC. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Moakovic, Brian Attard, Rob Povey on the ones and twos. Whew. So, good to have you, boys. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We got the puck dropping for the Flyers at, 10:30 tonight. We get a little hockey action. Listen, there's excitement. Mr. Mataraki's pulling out the Flyers jersey. Shit, what is this? Nothing on the back. That means nothing. We got nothing on the back of the jersey. That's what we're playing for. We're playing for the front tonight.
Well,
no. We're not playing for that. We're not playing for that.
Before the end of this season, I just happened to luck into the fact that our rookie number one draft pick, Nolan Patrick, happens to wear my number 19. So before the end of this season,
I like it.
This jersey will be hooked up.
Thank God it's not Nolan Carroll, though.
Oh, God, no.
Later on, we're going to get an Eagles talk. We're going to talk about the Eagles.
We got
another
everything.
dub, another close one, another hard-fought victory, 201 rushing yards, time of possession crushed again for another week, number one in the league in time of possession. Oh, where are my Doug haters today? We'll get into a little Doug hate later on. That's not me. That's not you two. I don't even know, sir.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Wait. It's not him.
Yeah,
it is you. I was being nice to you. No, you're a problem.
Being nice.
You're a problem. You're a flat-out issue. We'll preview Cardinals, Eagles, 1 o'clock Sunday. Get into that one. And some things that went well in the game. Again, another heavy rushing attack, three-headed monster. Got to be excited about that moving forward. And just, winning close football games. It's so important for a young team, a young quarterback, to learn how to win close ones. Once you start believing you can win a close one, everything's on the table then. You can win anything or off the table. I don't even know. Nor do I care, but you get the point. So we'll get into that. Phillies. Pete Mackanin essentially moved offices.
Call it what it is. He got fired.
They throw him a couple bones and say, and the Mets did the same goddamn thing with Terry Collins. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
How are guys losing jobs and getting other jobs? How's that happen? I want that. I need that in my life. I need to lose jobs. I need to lose my job and somehow get a nice comfy job, a little comfy spot, great office, great view. You know what I mean? Great secretaries, which Doug Pederson loves. So,
they said Pete lives in Arizona, so we'll give him a job close to home as our Southwest scout. You're like, really? So you're going to pay me to go watch minor league baseball all over the Southwest part of the country and just send you reports?
Done.
Because I don't do that shit already. God, sign me up.
Done.
Where do I get that gig?
Our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. Little team combat. Who will be the manager of the 2018 Phillies? Dusty Watson? Exactly. That's the point. If it's that difficult, I can't buy into it. Brad Ausmus or Gary DiSarcina or other. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah.
HUD Radio is where you can find us. Let's welcome our guest here, Brian
definitely.
Attard. Brian, tell the people what you do, where you're from, and then we'll finish our poll question and get rolling.
Absolutely. So I'm here with my partner, Mike Galetta. He's going to be on in a little while. We're from the Sports Box.
I wanted him to say because I knew he would get it right. You know what I mean? It's fundamentals. I do have a clue what I'm doing.
Not Mike Galati, as I received a lot of texts about
the
that.
The big pundit laying the fundamentals out.
I love people. A lot of texts. You know how long my name's been butchered for? I mean, let's circle the goddamn room because I can give you stories or Ron or Nan or Roan, and I just rolled with it. Yeah, that sounds right.
Try being mad
at like in school. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah,
that's this guy. No issues.
Ron.
Yeah,
I love the text though. Like, man, he's really butchering the name. We all butcher. Dario. I still don't know how to say Dario. Saric, Sariq.
Yeah.
Who is he? I don't know.
Milikovic.
Yeah.
Yep, it works.
All right.
So we're from the Sports Box. We have a YouTube show as well. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at Sports Box Show, or just search YouTube, subscribe to our channel. We're going to do a little cross promotion here with A2D. We appreciate being here, and it'll be a good time.
Cheap plug,
brother. Good to have you guys. Good to have you.
Definitely.
We got comments flying in too. Jose Clone. What up, Thomas? What up, Jose?
Jose, we got hockey action, yo.
Yeah, he knows. He comes out when the hockey gets rolling, when the puck drops. I love it. I flat out love it. Well, listen, let's start with the Phils, though. Let's circle on who you guys think's the next manager in 2018. And Pete Mackanin did get a raw deal here. This team played really well in the second half. I read an article on NJ.com and their frauds, and they put out that, he's a little hard on Franco, Herrera. What? Hard on a big league ball player? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm apologetic. I mean, grow up. And that's a terrible report on why a guy will get canned because he's a little tough on players. They look at their second half record when they brought the kids up and they trusted the process.
Well, let me roll.
Look how much better they.
Let me roll some numbers at you real quick. Now that you're onto that, so Mackanin lifetime, 174 and 238, so 422 winning percentage. With the Phillies, 227 and 291, 438 overall. So he's better with the Phillies than he was lifetime. Okay. This year, 66 and 96. Okay, season a loss. That's fine. 37 and 38 after the All-Star break, 14 and 12 in September, and 26 and 26 in the 52 games since Rhys Hoskins was called up on August 11th.
With one starter.
Yeah. So what does that tell you? To me, that tells me as soon as this guy had a horse in the middle of his lineup to build around, he was fine with one starter. One starter. Just like you said.
You had to bring the kids up at some point, and they finally did, and they bought into it. And then you bring the kids up, you put them around a coaching staff and a whole entire coaching staff of a certain culture and style, right? And then you're going to decide that you're going to go a different path that quick when you did have some success in the second half of the year. It makes zero sense to me. It makes zero sense to me. If you want to go out and get a bigger name, and there's somebody really out there that's that intriguing to me, then okay, I'll buy into it. But we always talked about, changeover is the worst thing in the world. If you're constantly changing, there's a problem. And if he wasn't your guy from jump, then you should have got rid of him from jump. Not wait, bring up the kids for a half a year, okay, and then decide, now we're going to go a different direction. It's lazy. It's lazy. It's lazy on Matt Klentak, and he should be called out for it. Because if he wasn't your guy, he wasn't your guy last year.
Yeah, but
nothing changed.
You're right. No, what did change is the pups can play. That's what changed.
So that makes makes him want a different manager?
Yes, because I don't think Mackanin was the guy going forward into 19. So if they were going to slow play this...
Hold on. This is a top 5 market. Regardless if the pups could play or not play, there's money to be spent. So I don't want to hear that lame excuse.
I don't disagree with that. What I'm saying is you weren't spending big money in this all season unless the pups can play. You were going to slow play it again with Mackanin, and then when you're spending money when Machado and Harper came on after 18 and in 19, you were going to
That's terrible.
You were going to get a next guy.
So if you don't believe in him, you're going to surround your puppies with a guy you don't believe in. Again, lazy. Okay, not a GM I want. Not my GM.
I thought you would be okay with this because Klentak is saying that now. Let's go. Let's go. I am putting the bullseye on myself right now by getting rid of Mackanin and bringing in the guy that I think is going to lead this team to the future.
Good. Then that guy should have been brought in last year. Then.
Okay. Well, he wasn't available next year,
and that's fine. But
Smith wasn't there.
Here's what's
he was in Detroit.
When did he get canned? After last year, right?
No,
this year. Just now.
This year. That's true.
And see, and this is what's telling to me because if you go back and you read any of the transcript from Andy McPhail's, I guess he did a presser yesterday. They asked him about this situation, and he more or less threw Klentak under the bus. He said that I explained to Matt that he was going to have to answer to the media and the fan base on this firing because you just extended him and now you want to dismiss him. And people are going to be confused. And the one thing you don't want to do to the media and the fan base in this town is confuse them. So McPhail said, okay, Matt, this is your show. If this is your move, you go ahead and you make your move. But you're going to have to be the one to explain it. So now McPhail is saying, all right, buddy, you want to put your stamp on this, I'm out. You go ahead and you do what you got to do. And to me, I mean, go ahead, Brian, because to me, that's throwing him under the bus.
Well, here's the thing that I don't get is based on everything that you said, I mean, everything's pointing up. So what was the impetus to say, okay, well, this guy is not the guy that we want going forward? There had to have been like some sort of, why? The only thing I can think of is Klentak might have a guy that he knows is going to be available, and that guy's probably already been decided on.
I think you're spot on.
And that's the thing. Like, it's kind of like maybe, people bring their own people in. Like, he might, whether it's Ausmus or whatever it is, if he's the guy, that's why Mackanin's canned, because we're replacing you with the guy that I wanted here anyway. The part that I don't really understand is, I mean, he's obviously got to harbor some resentment that he lost his job and was shuffled over. I don't think, office politics are going to play out very well, considering the fact that, okay, well, hey, I'm still here, but you don't want me to manage your team, so I'll just go, hang out over here. I don't think that's good. I think you got to get a clean break and just move on if that's the direction you want to go. But I just think he's got somebody in mind, that somebody became available. Sorry, buddy, you're out.
Well, to me, if you look at what happened the last week of the season, the Angels got eliminated, which means he can now suddenly talk to DiSarcina, and the Tigers decided that Ausmus wasn't coming back, so now he can talk to Ausmus. They already had Dusty Wathan in the dugout, basically from the time that AAA season ended. So there's 3 candidates right there that he's already got access to. I think you're spot on. I think what happened was he got to a point in September where he kind of said, you know what? I got access to these other guys. I'm going to make a move. And I think to his credit, when he decided he was going to make the move, that's when he told Pete, like, okay, we're not going to wait till the end of the season. I'm going to tell you what's going on. And I think you could tell by the reaction of the fans in that last series against the Mets, where Mackanin got standing ovations every night, especially that Sunday game where he got a huge send-off from the fans and the team. I think a lot of people know he's getting a raw deal here, but I think you're right. I think I think Klentak has, if not one guy, 2 that he probably has it narrowed down to already, or else he doesn't even make the move.
And to your point, listen, I'm fine with him going in a different direction. I just don't agree about how he got to this point. The decisions made up to this point. That's what's concerning to me. It's not that, hey, this isn't my guy. It's wait, it took you this long to figure out this isn't your guy? Because that's concerning to me. You should have known from last year that this wasn't your guy. It shouldn't have taken you this long to know it's not your guy. And the worst thing you want to do with your kids is put your kids around a guy and a regime and everything that comes with that, and then all of a sudden flip it coming in the next year again when you could have done this earlier. I mean, if he wasn't your guy, just don't even extend him. Bring it. No, let Bo or somebody just handle it until you get your guy. Well, just do it a different way.
That I think is the wrong move. As much as I love Boa, I don't think he's the right guy to lead the pups.
I think he is, because look what he got out of that pup. Look what he got out of every pup that he was around that ended up going on the other guy.
He wasn't the lead dog.
I understand that.
You know what I mean?
But he listen. I'm not saying Bo is the answer. I'm just saying as an interim, that would have been a fine decision. Don't extend the guy. It's that simple.
What shocks me, though, is Pete Mackanin's been a 50-year baseball guy, and this is his first chance to legitimately manage. And we're like worried that this guy got a raw deal. If he was this great baseball guy, and I'm not saying he's not, but if he was this great guy, why was this his first chance?
Listen, the issue isn't
why. Maybe he's maybe he's a better scout. And because Pete can see talent, Pete can speak to the media, he could do all that. Maybe he was just a guy that was just, let's just get through this because we're going to suck anyway. Why waste anything on a team that's not going to go anywhere?
I don't think the issue to me is if he can manage or not manage. The issue to me is, why did it take you up to this point to figure out if he can manage or not manage? Because then I look you in the eyes and say, do you know what you're doing? Regardless if your guy became available and then you jumped ship and you decide to change around what you were going to do, regardless, okay, you're telling me if he can't manage today, he couldn't manage a month ago or a year ago. And that's just facts. Okay, that you should.
And he couldn't.
Okay, but Matt Klentak, instead of extending him,
well, that's the
issue. Because you're telling everybody you do trust this guy. This is your guy moving forward.
Well, here's the thing: is maybe these kids progressed much more quickly than they thought that they would. So the extension was because, hey, we don't think we're going to really do that well for the next, say, 2 or 3 years. All of a sudden, you get a guy like Reese Hopkins. All of a sudden, this thing, maybe there's some nitrous oxide pushed on it. So now you get a guy who's better. I guess that might be the plan. Who's better at cultivating young talent versus a guy like Pete Mackanin, who may have been the stopgap, to use my friend Mike's favorite word, to get you to this point. And this point just happened to get here more quickly.
My sticking point is,
I agree with you.
I don't care if the puppies could play or not play. You're a top 5 market. You have so much money to spend. That side of it stays out of the picture for me, because a few of them are going to be able to play. Okay? And if you have any type of scouts around you, they should be able to feed you that information that, listen, what we got coming up for you is legit. Okay? That's fact. If you're a baseball guy, you should be able to see if he can play or can't play. So my concern as a top 5 market, as a team that we want to get better, the guy handling it concerns me how much of a baseball guy he really is. And that's just fact, because you have money to spend. So money's not an issue. You can go out and compete tomorrow. They can.
Well, here's
They can.
here's what bothers me about the whole scenario was understanding that Mackanin took over as an interim guy after the whole Ryan Sandberg debacle, and
Guy who couldn't talk for a guy who can talk.
yeah. So, and then they decided they're going to go forward with him. But look at the way the Sixers did it. The Sixers brought in Brett Brown as their guy,
Class.
and basically told Brett.
Oh, it's hinky.
I know.
Right, but they basically told Brett, you're going to suck for a while. But if you can just steer this ship through the muddy waters, there's going to be a reward at the end. So why not just have Mackanin get through 2015 and then bring your guy in the beginning of 2016 and say, you know what? You get through 2016 and 2017, come 2018, there's going to be a whole lot of riches at your feet. And that's when we're going to start judging you. What was Klentak worried about his own clock, where he knows he's only got 5 years and he doesn't want to suck for 2 of them with his guy, so he gets a 2-year pass by saying, oh, well, Mackanin wasn't my guy. Well, tough shit. I mean, they just did it the wrong way. He really did.
Well, here's the thing, too, is if they think they're trying to position themselves to get one of these premier free agents, maybe they bring in a manager who they believe is more palatable to one of those free agents, say, hey, Manny Machado, here's the guy, our new manager. We know you like him. Maybe you want to come play in Philadelphia. Maybe he just wasn't that guy.
Or if they go to DiSarcina, which is my selection on this choice, DiSarcina is with the Angels, who also happen to have a certain Vineland native on their team that may or may not be available in a couple of years. Just saying.
That might be like hitting 19 on the blackjack table. But, hey, if it works, it works. You know?
All right, lots of comments coming in here, so let's read some of them
Go
off.
ahead. I got a bunch, too. Over
Ralph
here.
Delvecchio, the slop of the Sixers are on bums. All right.
Lee.
Keep
All
our
right.
name out of your mouth, Ralph.
All right,
Okay.
Lonzo.
All right. What about LeVar? Steve Moran, someone else. I like Mickey Callahan from Cleveland, and I hope they will want Jim Hickey.
Pitching coach from Tampa Bay.
Who just decided he's not coming back.
Right.
So he's available.
Yeah.
The guy from Cleveland might be a while.
Which to me
might be a while before we can talk to him.
But to me, that brings up questions, because if you have a staff with Chris Archer, Alex Cobb, and Blake Snell, and you decide you don't want to go back, how much does that organization suck?
Yeah, right.
or who's sticking around.
Yeah.
Kevin Crossan, Buck Showalter.
Nah.
John Newman, Lenny Dykstra.
Nah. Although shit,
I mean, I'll say yes just to say yes.
shit would not be boring, that's for sure.
Mike Lipinski on point, Tom.
Of course.
Just like confirm that with you. Jeremy Beelin, great point, Tom. I mean, it just keeps continuing. Proving guys wrong. Doug Zeke, we had the Phillies around 75, 78 wins. What the fuck happened? Dude can't manage. Well, this dude, nobody can do anything to Zeke. Nobody's any good at. Nobody's smart at anything. He's the biggest genius in the world. Nobody's smarter. There ain't a coach in the city that can coach besides Doug Zeke. Just let him coach all four teams. Just take it over, Zeke. Run us to the ground. You'd be worse than Chip Kelly. You're a problem. You became a problem.
No, he is a problem.
A lot of hate. Rob Povia, Dusty, with Dusty Baker. Is that what you're thinking? Dusty, what's his name? Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
Hey, Wathan's got a bloodline, though. I mean, his dad played for the Royals during their heyday in like the late 70s and 80s, and then his dad was the manager of the Royals for 6 years, John Wathan. So, I mean, there is a bloodline there. He's not just some guy.
Yeah, but
I don't know if he's the guy, but he's not just some guy.
Alex Ocasio, Mike is always full decked out in some type of Philly gear. LOL, respect.
Thanks, brother.
Jason Grisola, Joe McEwing before the Mets hired him.
Oh, Jason, stop it. See, this is the thing that annoys me, and it goes back to the same thing I talked about last week. Every single person from Bucks County that's ever played ball with Joe McEwing is going to want him as the manager here. And it's the same thing that you just talked about. Like, if the guy was that much of a candidate, with all the places he's played in the majors, why doesn't he already have a job? And I love Joe. I mean, I know Joe from back in the day, but this proximity bias just has to stop.
Oh, it's out of control. It's out of control. Daniel Bakley, Ron Washington. I like that.
I like that.
name.
It's not a bad
That's
name.
a name I do like.
Well, here's a question for you guys. Would
Cocaine, anybody? Sorry.
I was going to say snow party.
if given the option between a manager who's been around the league, managed elsewhere, had success, not whatever it is, or a an absolutely fresh face, guy who's not had a shot before, but might be good
Leave it to
with
the
younger
new guy.
players.
Leave it to the new guy to ask a really good question.
Well, I'll jump in
Go
because
ahead.
I think it depends.
I don't have an answer for that.
I think it depends on who the new guy is and what his background is. Right? Obviously, Klentak is an analytical guy. That's his backstory. That's his process.
Yeah.
Right.
He's jump off
Trust
the
the
bridge.
process.
He's a
So-
jump off the bridge with his analytics.
Okay, here we go. Here's negative
Take his
Nancy over
analytics.
here.
Take your analytics and shove
So,
'em.
if
What'd your eyes tell you?
Just for example,
Sorry.
like a guy like McEwing,
No, I'm not sorry.
if he's more analytical, not full analytics, but if he's more analytical than than a guy who's coming around on his second and third team, then I don't have a problem going with a fresh face. I just think it depends on the candidate and who is truly there.
Do you support the analytic game?
The Sixers, you're as 10-9-8 as anybody, and you don't support the analytic game?
Well,
To a point, I supported it with Hinkie in terms of losing, yes.
yeah, but didn't Doug Pederson with that 4th and 8 call say the analytics said go for it?
No, I understand it in some part of the game. I think when you judge talent off of analytics, you fall into a really bad trap. That's my issue with it. It's not that percentages tell you this or percentages tell you that or percentages tell you to goddamn tank it so you can get a top 3 pick. It's that if I'm basing my talent off of analytics in baseball, I'm a flat-out problem. Because if these can't tell me, I'm not automatically not a baseball guy. You could be great here, Daddy. You could soak it all in, crunch every number you want to crunch, and whatever pops out's great, right? But if these, and you know this, man, you're a baseball guy.
I know.
If these aren't telling you what you need, what we need to see translate, then you're not our guy.
But
that worries me. It worries me in baseball.
There's got to be both.
It worries me in baseball.
There's got to be a balance.
I agree. There does have to be a balance, but baseball is the one sport out of the 4 major sports where you need that eye test more than
I don't
any of the
disagree
other
with
3.
you. I don't disagree with either of you.
I got some on the.
But if I have a guy that can hit, for example, let's just go back to Rhino, right? If he could only hit 5 less homers, but hit a higher percentage, he'd be a little bit better.
You know,
and I love the guy.
You know the only thing analytics ever worked for?
What?
One player. You want to know who he is?
Yeah.
Well, take a stab.
Who?
Take a stab.
Jeremy Giambi?
Kevin Youkilis. One guy in the history of analytics that actually paid off for it. Billy Bean could shove the analytics up his ass because at the end of the day, it was a way to be cheap. That's all it was. It was a way to make some money, and because you're not bringing anybody into the ballpark, it was a way to be cheap and be successful. It wasn't the end all be all. They won nothing. Look at all the talent the A's had. So stop the analytics. Stop the analytic talk. I want to run every analytic baseball person in this city out of town. We're going to have a bridge jumping party. We're going to have a little bridge. We're going to throw an A2D race on a bridge jumping party, and we're all just going to hop. We're all just going to hop, or we're going to push.
All right, I got some YouTube comments here, and there's a couple of real good ones here.
Comment?
Sixers,
I'm on board.
Now, here you go. Sixers JT. I'd love to see Dusty. Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Kingery will be on the roster by opening day, or will he be called up later on like Reese, especially given the influx of Caesar and Freddie trade rumors?
To his point, no, as of now.
And I agree with that. I think what they're going to do with Kingery is June 1st.
Yeah.
They don't want to start the clock on him. Todd Womack, what's up, guy?
What up, Todd?
What's good, guys? And then Womack says, just waiting on Tom to give Colin Cowherd a big FU because he disrespected Philly sports fans. And I told him, I said, go check out our Facebook page because it happened already and it's coming. Todd came right back. I saw the quick video he put on YouTube. Sixers JT chimes back in. Why not bring Charlie out of retirement?
Yeah, Mike Lipinski said the same thing. Dark horse.
It's not going back. It's not a bad idea.
Has anybody ever been successful in any sport going back to where they coached? I don't. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody.
I don't know.
Not after already winning, though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't know why Charlie would. Just keep coming back as the GOAT. Keep coming back and sit up in the press box with Tomey and Jim Ross.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. If the Giants keep going the way they are, and they somehow lure Coughlin back from Jacksonville,
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
you
who knows?
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's...
Kevin Crossan says, Showalter was hired by McPhail in Baltimore and fits my wet dream of Manny Machado playing third base at Citizens Bank Park. Thank you.
The wet dreams still happen, just not with Buck.
Yeah, and you got to get Galvis out of town, too. You got to move that. You got to move that around so you can get Crawford at short if you're going the Machado route. You're not going to Machado route right this second then.
Yeah, I mean, that could – I mean, the only way Machado happens now is if they trade for him. You know, you could still let Freddie play out and then make that move.
Sam Nelson, what up, fellas? Any idea
What's up,
who
Sam?
the pitching coach could be? Well, this depends on the hire and the direction he wants to go.
All I know is obviously they're saying that the entire coaching staff are all free agents now because whoever the new manager is going to be allowed to bring his own guy in. If somehow Bob McClure is still here next year with a new manager, I may go take out his knees with a baseball bat.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you bring a new guy in, let him bring his own people. Don't force upon him guys that may not fit his system and what he's trying to do because it's just not a good mix.
Yeah.
No, not at all. Sam Nelson, the hell with the analytics. It's about the eye test. Agreed.
Yeah.
Doug Zeke. Fuck it. Tony La Russa. And again, I read what's on the prompter, and Zeke he fires him out. I like it.
I was going to say,
We already work with a Tony La Russa.
Right, but I was going
day.
to say that. Do we hate that name? Because I don't.
I don't hate it at all.
I mean, isn't he like the president of the Diamondbacks, though? I mean, it would take a lot to get him out of there.
That is the Southwest. I mean, talking about Pete. Him and Pete going to be chilling out in Mesa.
Well,
no humanity. Jeremy Bewin. Why not Mike Schmidt?
There's a lot of reasons why not Mike Schmidt.
Because they already tried to do Schmidt, and he made it 1 year at Clearwater and said it was the worst thing he's ever done in his career.
That's why he's a special assistant at spring training.
Yep.
And has a few weekends in the booth.
That's all. Make a couple bucks. Get out.
I'm going DiSarcina. What do you think, Tommy?
I'm going Brad Osman. When in doubt, go catcher. Go to catching background.
Which, by the way, if this choice is mine, I'm with you. I'm going Osmus.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Although I don't mind DiSarcina. On that same thing, a middle infielder, a guy that knows what the rest of the guys should be doing. But my guy's Osmus. If not, so some random dark horse.
Did we agree on
We
something?
did.
Good to have you. Good to have
I'll go Osmus as well.
Right.
I think it's a good
So Saturday night, I go down to the game, and Clentak is sitting in that like little mobile studio that they have behind home plate, getting ready to go on pregame with Jim Jackson. And I just look over, and I look in the window. I'm like, holy shit, that's Matt Clentak sitting right there. So I walk over, and I knock on the glass, and Clentak looks over at me, and I kind of I give him one of these. So he takes his headset off, and I go, Brad Osmus, but I'll be okay with Dusty Waffen. And I turned around and walked away. and he started cracking up like it was the best thing ever.
We had to see.
But he was like awesome. Like he waved and smiled and everything. And
I'm sure he's probably a great guy. You know what I mean? He might be a great guy.
Real young looking dude in person too.
Yeah, that's what worries me.
I mean, I could put him over my knee and smack him for stealing too much bread from the cupboard.
I just hope that he has somebody in his ear that's not all based off the computer. That's what you got to hope, and you got to hope that he's able to listen, take advice on players, and not be stuck on what the computer generates out for him. And if he can do that and have the mix of it, it can be successful.
And that's what I'm saying.
If he's so one-sided on it, or 75-25, that's where I think you fall on the problem.
Sure. But it's like we
running the problem.
The three of us agree with Osmus, and I know you do too.
Yeah.
It's not like Osmus has been thrown out as this big analytic guy. He's just the younger generation. He's just that new style of manager who has recently played. So he's been around the transition of the game to where it's a different type of baseball a little bit to where, it's the old school guys like Pete and Boa aren't going to do certain things, whereas the new school guys would.
Well, let me ask you a couple questions, though, because I like where your head's at. But do you know where Brad Osmus went to college?
At Dartmouth.
Who else went there?
Matt Clentak.
Bingo. Biggest project next year in terms of the position players. Jorge Alfaro, catcher. So now DiSarcina with Crawford and Kingery, fine. But is Alfaro the bigger project for this team? And I say absolutely yes.
No question about
because he's an absolute hot mess.
Behind the plate. Not with the stick.
Flat out
hit.
Flat out smoke.
But it goes back to the point that there's probably somebody who's, you don't know about it yet, but this is the guy who's going to be introduced in like a week or whatever. That the firing was made because there was somebody waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
And it's a specific name, most likely.
I've said it 5 times on this show. Just give me Benji Molina as their bullpen coach next year, and Jorge Alfaro will be a Gold Glover in 2 years, and that'll be that.
Yeah, just overpay.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do.
You could
for
give
him.
$700,000 to a bullpen coach, and I'll be fine with it.
What's your thoughts on Ruben Amaro? Do you think he has the chops to be a manager?
I do, not yet.
No, I agree.
You can't be in the first base coach's box for a year and expect to get a manager's job. I think he's got to do a couple more years at first. He's got to move across the diamond, get a couple years at third. Then he's got to do a couple years on the bench. Figure just in round numbers. If he does 6 years on a coaching staff and he's in a variety of different positions and then some team wants to give him a shot, knowing that he's a former GM who was on a World Series winner, I got no problem giving this guy a shot. I mean, he's got it in his blood, too.
I was going to say, he's also got the pedigree.
Yeah,
as
I don't
well.
even think for a guy like that needs to spend much time on the diamond, per se, in like assistant roles, just because, 1, he played, 2, he went up top, and so all you're doing is coming back down. I think he's a smart enough baseball guy to hit that in stride. I'm not saying here. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah,
in
no,
general.
I wasn't implying here.
Right.
You just start to hear his name thrown out there now because he has jumped downstairs and he's now in the field level.
Well, it's not just here.
Right.
I mean, his name is being mentioned for managerial spots in different locations, and it's, like where there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, does the mainstream media like him that much as a potential manager after 1 year on a coaching staff? Like you said, because he came out of the front office.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Daniel Bakley, Twins hitting coach James Townsend is a hot name being thrown around.
Speaking of Twins, one of my dark horses is Ron Gardenhire. I think what he used to do in Minnesota with no money, and only Joe Mauer and a concussed Justin Morneau. I think that translates to a big market. Because you were always thrust with having to mix talent and youth and low budget players and no talent, and so I think it's a dark horse.
Yeah, guys like that who do it with nothing are guys that are smart baseball guys. I mean, Mike Scioscia's made a living of it, essentially. I mean, he has more talent now, lineup wise, but they did it with less before in Anaheim. So that that's another guy that his job's not up for grabs, but another guy who's done it with less. So I like them kind of names. Now, does Ausmus concern me because Detroit was loaded and they didn't get over the hump with him? No, because that's his first gig, and that's a lot of high-profile guys that were on that roster. And sometimes it's the hardest to manage them high-profile guys.
They were all high bucks.
Yeah, so I feel like if you put him in a position here where it's pups and it's kids, I think that he can really translate well, and that can really work to the Phillies' favor moving forward.
Well, and to your point,
and to his too.
Yeah.
Because you're not nervous. I know that's a bad word for it, but I mean, you're talking to also. You're talking to a bunch of Hall of Famers.
I was going to
Right,
the
but-
the best right-handed hitter ever.
Yeah, like how do you judge? Like, how do I tell him anything?
But that's what I was going to say is, I mean, if you're in a position where you're managing Miggy and Verlander, doesn't some of the onus have to go on them? I mean,
no question.
They're two of the best at their position in the modern era, and they didn't do it. So, I mean, the manager's filling out the lineup card. At some point, the player's got to perform.
Can I take back my Ron Gardenhire?
You can.
Yeah, Doug Zeke said he loves it. I'm out.
I'm
out.
Sixers.
Of course, Doug Zeke said would like it. I said it.
Sixers JT says Mickey Morandini, and I'm pretty sure Zeke loves Morandini too. So that's out.
I like Mickey. He used to live like across the street from me when he was playing here. It's pretty cool.
To your point by the manager, he can't fix what you won't do. So
It's true.
if you're not doing what you need to be doing, the manager can't work with you and get you where you need to go to.
It's the whole Aaron Nola effect. If guys get to the big league level, are they willing to make an adjustment? Or are they stuck on what got them there? And they're saying, nope, this got me to the show. I'm not changing nothing. And then you got guys who get better, and the guys who are successful at that level that aren't the freaks, right, are willing to work on things and willing to figure out, I need to use legs more. That's gonna make my arm heal quicker. You know what I mean? Week to week, start to start, and not drag out as the season went on. And you saw he got stronger compared to last year when he was on the DL, went on the DL out, arm soreness. So, I look for guys that, you can do that with younger guys, though, too, than a guy who's a 10-year vet.
Yeah.
To Brian's point, like, it's harder to go to, a Cabrera or Victor Martinez and talk hit.
Yeah.
Like, we should be talking hitting to you.
When they're making $25 million, they're not going to listen to you.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
making like 2.5.
Yeah.
Like,
I see. I see Jeremy asking who's my favorite baseball team. Miami Yankee fan. Actually,
Tell Jeremy to get on the right chat.
seriously. Well, let me ask you guys.
Chime in on the Facebook chat. Chime in on the YouTube chat.
He's all over the place.
Don't send instant messages to a guy on the show.
So let me ask you guys.
Damn it!
No, he's reading off of that.
I got it right here. So
I got you.
I brought the Yankees up. So obviously they won the wild card game last
Right.
night, and they're in the locker room and they're showering each other with champagne.
I don't get it.
Seriously?
I don't get it.
Why? Why is every level of success in baseball this massive beer at each other's faces, plastic all over that? Like, how about you win something and then celebrate?
Yeah. You think a team like that,
Especially the
act
Yankees.
like they've been there a couple
Yeah.
times. I
Well,
don't know.
That's why hockey players don't touch anything
That's
until they get to the Stanley
right.
Cup.
That's right. Absolutely.
Sam Nelson, Osman got a raw deal because the Tigers got old really quick. Well, that's true as well.
Yeah.
That is.
And when you throw that money at Justin Upton, that's not good.
Yeah, no. And then you trade J.D. Martinez right out from under him this year. I mean, what were they thinking? They basically just handed Arizona a playoff spot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but no. By the way, that was deeper. Real side note: Arizona's going to win the NL because my buddy was in Vegas, didn't put the bet in, and his middle name is Mush.
Yes.
His middle name is Mush.
You are a degenerate. I love it.
He is. Yep. Arizona's going to win it all.
I know about 6 guys like that too.
Jeremy Clow, Long Greg, shout out.
That's my brother, Clo.
Clow, sorry.
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't
Clo.
I don't do the last names well, dude. I ain't lying to nobody.
What's up, Jer?
Doug Zeke, directed to me. You're a dick.
He must know you personally. What it is?
I don't think they've ever met face to face, but they will.
No, we
Someday
haven't.
they will.
We haven't. He was supposed to come down here like 10 times and never came. I think he owes fancy money
Because
too, doesn't
it's
he?
because he's not allowed to leave the
Is he
state
pulling
of
this move?
He's not allowed to leave the state of Pennsylvania. And that is only a half lie.
The ankle bracelet's the other half a lot. Sorry, Zeke.
Got him!
Left it open. But, yeah, so we'll see what direction they go. Yeah. That's about as much fills as you can get into.
Yeah, the one thing I did.
35 minutes
yeah,
now in the off season.
Yeah. Just finishing out real quick. The one thing I did like that came out of the 2 press conferences was we talked a couple weeks ago about all this influx of talent that they have in the minor leagues now and how they just don't have enough positions on the major league roster to do stuff with them. And what came out of the press conferences was they said, we're not necessarily going to go out and spend big free agent money on guys, but we've got a lot of chips in the minor leagues that we can turn over in trade for guys that we can control and start building it that way. So if your minor league guys aren't going to be used at the major league level, you can then use them in trade to get pitching for your major league ball club.
Sounds like your Flyers. I'm sure we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Oh, deal them all. Flyers, yeah, deal them all. And deal
Hey, at least the Flyers have the kids on their roster to start the season.
Yeah, I mean,
Just not playing.
you talk about the Phillies, deal them all. I mean, Scott Kingery, great dude, great, got it. See ya. Right? I mean, I don't care. I mean, I'll trade prospects all day. We talk about it all the time for guys 26 or under that are proven MLB players. Just every day. And if you play a doubleheader on Sunday, I'll double down on that too. It's really that easy for me. You know, there's some guys that are just untouchable in your organization. I get that, and them guys you got to hold tight. But when I have Hernandez at the big league level, I don't need Scott Kingery. They're 2 years apart. I really don't. I know what Hernandez brings at the big league level. I do not know what Scott Kingery brings at the big league level. I assume it's going to be good.
You have a thought.
Yeah. And I believe he's going to be a good big league player. But I know what Hernandez is. So if I can flip Kingery and get myself an arm, right, or put him in a package and get myself a legit arm, Archer. Right, guys that we talked about, Stroman.
Yeah.
You know, they're guys that excite me. They're younger guys. You know, I don't care about control. I'm a top 5 market again. I don't care about control. I'll pay you dollars and cents. That's not an issue. We've done that before.
Well, we've talked about it. I mean, for me, the only 2 untouchables in their entire system are Kingery and Sixto Sanchez. But if the right deal comes along, either one of them could be touched. You could be patted on the butt right out of town.
Yeah, Sixto. Figure your accuracy out somewhere else, Daddy. See ya. We're moving along. We're going to get ourselves a real horse. Can't wait forever.
Although Sixto throws 103, so I may
That's great.
I may not be willing to part with him just
No,
yet.
I get it, but if 103 goes all over the world, you know what I mean? I'll part with you real fast. That's
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
hitting the cutout.
maybe hit Mackanin a couple times. Oh. Jeremy says, Mike, I'm already on live on Facebook. I can see your orange and black from Hamilton, New Jersey.
Good for you.
It is bright. It is bright. But I love it. It's Flyers time. We'll get into the Flyers later on in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Sixers talk as well. And we'll come back on the other side talking Eagles. Big win against the Chargers, 26-24. Break that down. That this wasn't your usual 0-3 football team that you matched up against Sunday. So we'll break all that down on the other side. Mike's going to jump over and join us. So we'll do a little switcheroo here. Eagles talk, Flyers talk, Sixers talk. Real simple. Tom,
Mike,
AM,
PM.
A2DRadio.com. And this segment was brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Gibson Mayer LLC. Find them on the web. GibsonMayer.com. And we got to give a shout out to the new soap standard as well. Soap Stash LLC. Get the bars, bathe your body, soak it. Soak it in. We'll be right back. Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, on a2dradio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2dradio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2dradio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer, LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on HUDradio.com. Welcome back, Tom. AM. HUDradio.com. Live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. BMW Atlantic City, rough exit 17 in the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of AtlanticCity.com. Every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make him yours. Find him on the web, GibsonMayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwakovich, Mike Galetta. I get it? Look at
You
that.
got it.
Kid
Nailed
back.
it.
Kid
Nailed it.
back. Rob
Attaboy.
Hogan on the ones and twos. Mike, do the same thing Brian did for us before when he was on.
Well-
give you a little plug. Tell the people where they can find you.
I am the other stupendous half of the show called The Sports Box on YouTube. We do a show, periodically on our. It's phenomenal. We do all kinds of sports from football to hockey to basketball to baseball. We talk MMA, WWE, whatever you want. We are the one-stop sports show where the only opinion that matters is right here.
I like that.
Yep.
That's how I look at that too.
Yep.
So
Brian loves that too. I
but
say it all the time. That he
Yeah,
loves it.
I got to look in the mirror and say that to myself on like a consistent basis. It's the only opinion that matters, Tom. Yours. So
So is that before or after Best in the Business and No Notes?
that's just a hoax. Our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. Who will be the manager of the 2018 Phillies? Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. HUD Radio is where you can find us. We have some good names up there. Other comment in. Let us know. We're going to move, shift, Eagles talk. Big win against the Chargers this Sunday. And I say big win because I look at San Diego and I ask myself, there's two things they do really well that you can say they do well. Run the football, get after the quarterback. Both things look pretty non-existent last week.
I'm just smiling because I'm glad I wasn't the first one that called him San Diego.
Whatever.
Because I did it 5 times last
I'll
week.
continue to say because they're going back anyway.
They're going back
They're
anyway.
going back anyway. So
Send them back.
I'll continue to call them the LA Chargers. There's two things
No,
they do
no,
well.
just call him San Diego.
San Diego.
I'm
The
good.
San Diego Chargers. The Chargers, the two things they do well, they rush the passer and they run the football well. Both things were pretty non-existent for the most part Sunday. Yeah, they got after, they put a little pressure on, but not like they do really well. And I look at that and I say, well, this is a good football team when I look at the Eagles because they shut them down in their biggest things they do really well. They're not your usual 0-3 football team. Every game they've been in close battle, they don't win it. They don't find a way to win, something the Eagles have found a way to do.
Well, we talked about last week, Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram. And combined, they had 0 sacks. So that's huge. And, Melvin Gordon wasn't really a factor in the run game either. So there you go. Just what you just said. I mean, they're two biggest strengths at this point because obviously Phillip Rivers is on the downside of his career. Two biggest strengths completely shut down.
Well, I think the Chargers' game plan, too, from the get-go was to try to contain Wentz to the middle of the field, but that didn't happen because sometimes he got through the middle and he got loose. He's a slippery guy, Wentz. You got to control him, and they didn't control him well.
No, that's something you came in thinking that they would do really well.
Yeah.
I mean, they're quick off the edge. Two better pass rushers in this league. They can go get you.
But how do you neutralize a pass rush?
You pound the football.
You run the football.
And something they did really well.
They
36 times
really
again.
ran the football.
Well, I had a big epiphany during that game on Sunday because, I mean, I was hot after the Giants game because I felt like they didn't throw the ball enough against the Giants, and as a result, they had to go down to the last second. I felt like by throwing the ball more against the Giants, they would have taken their foot and stuck it right on the Giants' throat. The epiphany that I had against the Chargers, though, was specifically what you just said, that Doug wasn't necessarily running the ball to establish that balance. He was running the ball to keep the pass rush on their heels.
I like how he went about it, too. He took a couple shots early on. loosened them up a little bit, and then got into the running game.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's the West Coast offense to a T. I mean, it really is the throw early on in football games and be able to run the ball later in games, to get a lead. Now I'm not saying, they threw the ball and got a lead. But when you can get a lead and control the game in your favor, it allows you to be more balanced. It allows you to pound the football a little more. If your team playing from behind, you're going to throw the ball 40 times a game. It's just the way this league is when you're on the comeback every time. So if they can continue to win time and possession, continue to stay in close football games, you're going to see a better balance. You really are. But they can beat you in two ways, and I think that's what they showed you early on so far this season. They can beat you running the football, and they can beat you with Carson Wentz if they need to. So it's not like Wentz needs the running game to win football games in this league.
No,
it helps
but I
to be
think it makes his
two-dimensional.
job a whole lot easier.
No question about it.
Quarterback.
But now it makes defenses say, well, we can't load the box because he can beat us. So we gotta cater to both,
right,
and that makes you, when you're two-dimensional like that, that makes you a problem around the league.
And that's going back to, the Lombardi days. How do you win football? How do you win championships? You have to have the balance. Now obviously balance at each game plan is going to be different. Your balance one game plan might be 70-30, and your balance one game plan might be 60-40 to run, which it was, this game. Like when you're facing the Giants and the Chargers, who are the two worst run defenses, I hope we would pound the ball, and let Carson be that second-year quarterback, allow his throws to be a little bit easier so that we're not fully getting a young Brett Favre where he's throwing a ball into triple coverage and turning the ball over.
Well, the piece of this to me that's sort of under the radar is I think we're all in agreement in what them successfully running the ball did to the pass rush. But to me, if you look at the first quarter, they actually passed to set up the run. Because every time those safeties crept up, they had Ertz up the seam. They had Aguilar up the seam. They had Jeffrey up the seam. When you complete 17 passes and you go for 242 and you're hitting these deep 40, 50, 50-yard passes, not up the sidelines, but up the seams, where you basically nailed the safety for cheating up. And now all of a sudden, those safeties are starting 15 yards, and they're backpedaling on the snap, and you're pounding LeGarrette Blount through there? I mean, to me, this was the best game that Doug has called in his 2 years or year and a quarter with this team.
Well, I also think the running game is working for them because you don't have like a Melvin Gordon, a Gurley. You don't have a back that's going to carry the ball 15, 20 times a game. You got three guys that you don't know what you're going to get out of: Smallwood, Clemens, and Blount. I mean, you could have Blount carry the ball for 2 yards. You might have him carry it for 12 yards. So it kind of mixes it up a little bit, and you got a three-headed monster that right now is working well because the defense doesn't know what to expect.
Exactly.
It's a great call.
It's a great point. You put a number one back in there, and he's there, and it is
right.
what it is.
You rely on him, and you go with that, but you got three guys that mix it all up.
And it's great. Somebody's having a bad day, right? I mean, you got two other guys to go to. It really, I love it. It gets a little New England in it, and to a point where you don't know what you're getting week to week. And the point that you said, it's the best game plan he's called, best game he's coached. Well, you got to give the guy a ton of credit for all the people who said he was clueless too. I mean, there was tons of people killing this guy, saying he was clueless, he didn't know football, he was this, that, and the third. Number one in the league in time possession. So that tells me all I need to know about the guy's smarts, to be able to adjust game to game, not be stuck on one way or the other.
Well, the thing I like that he's doing this year that he tried to do last year and didn't work is Ertz is finally catching the ball and getting involved in the offense. So you get him out and you start sneaking him out of places here and there. There's another weapon for you.
He's having a career year.
Yeah.
I mean, through 4 games, he's
better.
He's absolutely having a career year.
It's
finally
long overdue.
Yeah, exactly.
But to your point about Carson throwing for 243 or whatever, 244, whatever he threw. But Torrey Smith dropped down the seam too. That might go house or at least going 50. So you're talking about another completion right there where the kid almost threw the ball for 300 yards, essentially. And now he's got to, the drops have to stop.
Torrey Smith, he's disappointing so far.
Big time.
Really
I mean, these are balls that are in the hands. These are, when you're an NFL vet, you can't drop them balls. I mean, I get it. There's going to be tough catches in this league. And there's going to be balls you're going to drop. But the easy ones you got to come down with and you got to make. And I thought, we were changing that culture here. Bringing in these vets who weren't known for lots of drops. You ask Baltimore Ravens fans, they're going to tell you a little different about Torrey Smith. And San Francisco just doesn't matter.
He also got cut from San Francisco, so let's look at that.
Tells you a lot, too.
Well, Alshon doesn't drop it. Torrey,
no.
Yeah.
He got a problem.
Well, Mike, that's what I was saying, too, about, throwing early to then be able to establish a run game, and it worked out to a T this weekend. You came down, you threw the football, you got a great play call on Alshon's touchdown too. I mean, that's all set up to be a fade written all over it, and that play call is a great play call. Now, that's part of his scripted plays, and your scripted plays should take you down and get a touchdown.
And it's a
or
dart.
Points.
It's
and
a
a flat-out
dart.
seed.
Oh, yeah.
Seed. But, listen, that's the point. The kick can beat you. The running game can beat you. You have a good offensive line, right? And you have a defense that has gotten it done, smoke and mirrors in the secondary through the first 4 weeks, with no Darby, no McLeod at times.
Right.
That's going to kill you. And your best defensive player, Fletcher Cox, isn't on the field for the last 2 weeks for the most part, and you come out with wins. That's huge.
Now, you are dealing with injuries, and understandably, but that defense is a little scary right now because that's 2 games in a row where theoretically, I mean, the Giants you probably should have lost. The Chargers game you could have lost, and it was all because the defense just couldn't get off the field. Granted, injuries are, but you have to step up for a game, for a play, for a series to make a stop when you need to.
No, I agree, and that's actually one of the things that kind of bothers me a little bit about this week because for the with the Chargers, to me their receiving core is Keenan Allen, whichever tight end they have in the game, whether it's Antonio Gates or Hunter Henry, and then a bunch of guys. You look at the Cardinals, you're talking Fitz, you're talking J.J. Nelson, you're talking John Brown, you're talking Jerron Brown.
But they're also one-dimensional.
They are. They're very one-dimensional.
And if you get pressure on Carson Palmer,
Which isn't hard.
Which isn't tough to do at all. I mean, he's nothing. I mean, I know most quarterbacks aren't, but I mean, he's nothing. There's no movement. There's no escaping the pocket. There's nothing. And he's a statue, so if you can go get him, you're going to put them in for a long day. You can pin your ears back this weekend. I mean, if you ain't walking out of this game with 5, there's a problem. I mean, that front four should be able to pin it back and go get it.
Well, you talk about their secondary. The secondary is doing well right now because they're getting pass rushed. They're really forcing the quarterback around and getting to him. And that's why the secondary hasn't been as bad as we thought they were going to be so far.
Right, and it's a great point, but you look at what happens, though, as the games wear on. I mean, we've seen it 2 weeks in a row now that they get all that pressure in the first half going into the third quarter, but now what you're seeing is because of the Fletcher Cox injury,
the wear,
and the lack of depth on the line, the lack of depth in the secondary, as the game goes on and these guys get worn down, they start letting up the big plays. I actually thought Bo Allen played pretty well last week.
Yeah.
I thought Derek Barnett flashed a lot. I mean, he was this close to a couple of sacks. He did recover a fumble.
Well, not only did he recover it, I mean, wow, pause.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, pause. I was like, who was that?
Yep.
He's grabbing a Nerf ball off the ground. Jesus, are you kidding me?
But it was interesting because we talked about it on the show last week where we said that we thought that there was a chance that we would see Vinny Curry inside.
Yeah, you plug it in there.
Yeah. We thought we'd see Vinny Curry inside with Derek Barnett lined up outside of him, and that's exactly what they gave us on that series.
Plug it in over there.
Plug it in wherever you want. There's a plug right here, bro. You don't have to.
There you go. Slide that cord out. Slide that over. Is that as far as it goes?
Yeah.
There's also another one right there, too. Green one.
There you go.
Options. There you go. A little juice.
You good?
Are we juiced? Are we juicing?
We're good.
All right.
He's happy? Good. I'm glad he's happy.
Sam Nelson, if Doug is so clueless, why are we top 10 in almost every offensive category?
Exactly.
I look right at you. You know.
Because we played two of the worst
Here we go.
defenses.
Can't have it both ways.
No.
Can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways.
Can I praise the guy and also still be critical?
Sure.
Sure, go ahead.
Am I allowed to? Because that's what I'm doing. He had a great game plan. But let's see what he does against a top 10 defense this week. I mean, that's what this is going to turn into. Does he still pound the ball? Because right now this is a running team. This is a running team. So with a top 7 defense against the run, the top 10 defense total, with some horses out in the corners that can match up against our guys, is he going to stick to the run and pound the ball, or is he going to revert back to Uncle Andy and then just start slinging the ball again?
Yeah, and that's the thing you got to worry. That's the thing I worry about with Doug Pederson. He's got good game plans coming in, but near the end of the game when it's crunch time and it starts to get a little bit shaky, is he going to stay the course or is he going to roll off the tracks? And that's, a couple times you've seen that already. So
like I said it a million times. I have zero issue with him putting the ball in his best player's hands consistently. If that's what it comes down to, and he reverts as time goes on this season to throwing the ball a little bit more, I don't know what the issue is. I really don't. I don't know why you sit here and have an issue with the best player on this goddamn team, a guy you traded all this to go up and get, throwing the goddamn football. I'm amazed by it. I thought I love it. I don't understand the argument. You can still have a run game by slinging the rock around the yard. I mean, god damn it. When did it become that it's 1960? Not every week needs to be 36 goddamn
I never
runs.
said it had to be.
No, I know it all over you. It's written all over you.
Okay.
It's like, if we come out throw the ball 40 times next week, oh my God. And not just you, the people out there that I'll call clueless, and you semi-clueless on this, okay, that they actually believe if they throw the ball too much, Doug's clueless. That's what amazes me. That's the thought process for 70% of the people out there.
Yeah,
that really is simple as that, their thought process.
Yeah,
40 times? Oh, he's going to get him killed. Going to get him killed. He's a grown-ass man. He's 6'5", 240. Get what killed?
Okay.
But their biggest free agent signing that everybody loved was a $17 million wide receiver.
Brady
That they don't want him to throw the ball to.
Brady slung, whatever.
Slung.
Whatever
like
word
that.
you want to point.
Slang.
He's done it
Slung.
for years now. I've been successful. I'm not comparing Wentz to Brady. My point is, Rodgers. Look at the big caliber quarterbacks in this league. They win by throwing the football. And Rodgers gets killed for no running game and wins beside of it, besides not having a running game. But you understand my point. Most of these guys throw the football around the yard. I don't understand it.
Do it year 2.
Why? When are you going to take the training wheels off? At what point?
Because I want this guy to get there 10, 12 years from now.
So you baby it?
I'd take it a little slower.
Slower, man. Come on. Let's go. You bought a new car.
We
Drive
won the
it
Super Bowl
fast.
this year.
So why do you have to do it this way then?
I'm not saying that.
So why would you have to do it this way then?
But slow
consistently.
it. But slow it. Let the guy develop.
You're missing the point.
Like,
He has slowed it.
Yeah.
But my point is, it's okay game to game if you're going to throw the ball a couple games 40 times.
So Patrick Peterson and Honey Badger, and we're gonna throw the rock 40 times.
Maybe
Have you
not.
seen their front seven's not a bad front seven, Greg. They can stop the run a little bit.
Yeah, they can.
Okay,
And they got
so-
those two guys. So
Okay. But Patrick Peterson's beatable. Okay? I mean, people crown him around this league like nobody can beat him. Watch him tape on him for a minute. For half a minute, and then stop crowning his ass. Now, you want crown Badger? I'm all in for that one. But I'm not in the crown Patrick Peterson. He's rested on his laurels for a long time now. Right. He hasn't been the guy he used to be. And anybody who thinks that's crazy talk. Because I'll make a list. I'll go up inside. I'll get out the coach's camp, and I'll put a little documentary together of his ass getting burnt. And you're paying a guy $17 million to be a number one. We'll go beat somebody then.
Okay.
So I'm tired of being, oh my God, look who's across the field. Why are we so nervous about who's across the field? Attack. Be on attack mode. If you come into a game plan, and like this game plan was attack early, then run the football. I want to be on the attack. I never want to be on my heels. If I got to come into a game thinking the only way I can win is by running every time, that's crazy talk, man. That's what bad teams with bad quarterbacks do. That's their thought process. Right? I'm not worried about a 6'5", 240 kid who can move around the pocket, make plays with his feet. Why am I concerned about putting the ball in his hands?
Ben's never been hurt. Ben's never been hurt.
Ben's a warrior.
Brady's better. But I'm saying, like, those big guys, they're big guys, and they've been hurt.
Hold on. My man, our favorite coach of all time here said, what's the rate of injury in the NFL, the injury rate?
100%.
100%. It's the only thing the guy ever said smart here. And that was Chip Kelly. The only thing he ever said smart. Because it's real talk, right?
You know how the Philadelphia Eagles aren't worried about that
I just love doing this with it.
last year, Carson Wentz had over 600 attempts last year throwing the ball. Mm-hmm. And to Mike's point, their first moves in the offseason was to go get Jeffries and Torrey Smith. And then they ended up getting LeGarrette Blount because they wanted to give him a little bit of help. But they're not worried about him throwing the ball. If they were, they would get a lot better running back. They'd focus more on the run than they did the pass. They want this kid to throw and move forward. They don't want him to take a step back. They want him to move forward. And that's the game plan.
You can take a step forward and not get killed.
Well, you don't think the offensive line
I was
is better
going to say,
this year?
beef the offensive lineup.
That has improved,
Right.
absolutely, which has now allowed you to run the ball effectively, which takes some pressure off your second-year quarterback, your best player, and allows those passes to become a little bit easier.
Agreed.
I don't have an issue with what you're
But
saying.
I always say the best way to do that is you're going to pay all this money for a guy to come in. You draft him high, get an offensive line, however you got to get it to protect this. You're protect your investment.
And they finally have it.
No, and my point is, it's not about like running the football to set things up. It's not about that. It's about the thought process that he can't. That you're going to get him killed by throwing too much. That's what drives me insane. It's because it's not. He's special. And if you don't see he's special and you don't see that he needs the ball in his hands more than – no, these game plans were great. But moving forward, man, it's going to be more of a 60-40 the other way. And if people can't wrap their head around that, then I can't help them. LeGarrette Blount, good for him. He had a great game. That's what you expect out of him, okay? The kids, they ran the ball really well. Great. But they're running the ball well because your quarterback went down and drove them down the field and slung the ball over teams early on to be able to set that up. So my point is the pass is always going to set up the run when your quarterback's that special. It has to. It has to. Or you're going to go out and have to get yourself a stud pup. You know what I mean? A Barkley type out of college. You know, a guy in the top 10 that's just that special. And that's fine. I'm all in for that. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he's always going to be the best player on your team.
Well, I want to ask you guys a
So I
question.
go in circles with it, but you know where I'm going.
I want to ask you guys a question because, Greg, you said something a couple minutes ago, and you said, is this team going to the Super Bowl this year? We're at the quarter pole. Why not? I mean, who do you see in the NFC right now that is absolutely unbeatable that the Birds couldn't necessarily, if they got on a hot streak, jump over and make that run?
Before you answer that, I'll go back to you and say last year when they were 3-0, did you say the same thing?
No, I did not. Because I did not believe that they could win with a rookie quarterback. Mm-hmm. But I'm seeing things a little differently this year.
But I think it's way too early to say something like that.
It is.
Yeah.
And I'll give you that. I'm not trying to crown him, but what I'm saying is from where I'm sitting, I mean, I had them, preseason, I had them at 10-6, losing a wild card game to the Bucs. Mm-hmm. Now, I may be at 11-5, and maybe they're getting past that wild card round because I'm seeing things that are telling me this team is going to be a little more well-rounded than I thought they were, and the rest of, and more importantly, the rest of the NFC, there's nobody out there that's impressing me at all. I mean, at all. I mean, the most impressive team right now in the NFL is the Chiefs, and the Birds hung with them for 3.5 quarters.
Yeah.
So how far-fetched is it really at this point?
Is it far-fetched? Probably not right now, to your point. But on the flip side, we could also be 1-3 right now.
But we're not.
But you're not. You're not.
Right.
But to the flip side, you could be.
Right. But they're winning the games this
They
year
are.
that they would have
They are,
lost
yes.
last year.
Atlanta's a lot better than I thought they would be with a new offense. I thought Kyle Shanahan leaving was going to, now Matt Ryan's learning another offense. So I thought they were going to take a step back. So they're a lot better.
And Julio got hurt, and they lost at home to Buffalo.
If we're going to get crazy, get crazy.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm all about getting crazy.
But you want to talk about Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo's got a pretty good defense. So
yeah,
in their
they're in the
defense.
AFC.
Yeah, but they're the AFC.
Right,
I mean,
right.
you don't see them until the Super Bowl at the earliest.
Right.
Man, if you make Atlanta travel outside in cold weather games, they're not leaving with dubs.
The
That's fact.
Birds did beat
That's
them in
fact,
Philly
my
last
opinion.
year.
If they're traveling to a good football team's home in cold weather, I don't think they're leaving with a win. That's just me. And they're dealing with a lot of injuries too defensively.
Yeah.
Atlanta. But
Green
again,
Bay's always a problem that
yeah,
league.
of course.
And
Rodgers going to do him.
And Minnesota, the defense is going to travel.
Right, but we'll see. I mean, but here's the thing now. Minnesota, no Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Green Bay, how long are they going to be without Ty Montgomery and Devontae Adams? They could both be back this week. They could be staggered. Mm-hmm. You don't know. Now, Green Bay, I'll say, does as good a job as anybody of next man up.
Masking stuff, yeah.
And hiding their faults, exactly. But, I mean, I watched them against Atlanta, and Atlanta just laid it on them. And I didn't think they were especially impressive. I mean, and that's the whole point of the question is there anybody out there in the NFC right now that's just blowing you away where you're like, you know what, we couldn't compete with them? Because for me, there's not.
No, not really. But the first 5 games of the year, you got to let everybody figure it out, and that's the thing. Even you go over to the AFC, look at the Patriots; they're 2-2. Are they going to figure it out? Yeah, I'm pretty much going to say they're going to figure it out. They'll be there at the run at the end, and I think the Packers will be there at the end in the NFC. Falcons will obviously be there. don't count the Lions out. The Lions have looked okay.
And
They got screwed in that game.
That's a good one because I actually am a little bit impressed with the Lions.
And you don't think the NFC East will come back a little bit? I think the Redskins are still there. I think the Redskins, everybody's counting, they're looking past them a little bit. I think they're not a bad team.
Redskins didn't win that game if Doc's
right. And Dallas, even though their defense is a little shaky right now, I think Dallas can make a move up there again.
And they're all fair points. And I don't dispute anything you're saying, but where I'm going with this is if there's 4 guys sitting on the same couch having the same discussion in Dallas or Washington, are they not saying, oh, my God, maybe the Eagles are for real?
Well, I think the turning point for the Eagles is going to be when they head west to go to Seattle. That's going to be the game. You see what they're made of because Seattle's a different team when they go on the road. Mm-hmm. When they are home, they are Seattle, and the 12th man is there. When they are on the road, they're a whole different team. That's going to be the quarter pole for them.
All right, fair point.
Okay.
Yeah, but to your point, they are winning games that they wouldn't have won last year. When you're talking about, is it too early? Yeah, of course it's too early. But it's not in a way because you're teaching a young football team how to win close football games, and that translates. That's its facts. So now am I going to say that they're, a Super Bowl contender? No, I'm not going to go crazy, but listen, we know how football works, man. And can they make it? Can they make a little bit of a run in the NFC in the playoffs? Yeah, I think they can. Especially when their defense is fully healthy. Yeah, because they got a front seven to be able to go get you. And any team that has a front seven that can go get you and has a good enough offense has a chance to play late into December. That's just facts, too.
Right.
So, and, can you keep LeGarrette Blount's carries down and win football games early on in the year where now he's a fresh back in November and December when you have to pound the football more to win games in them cold weather games? So I don't know. I mean, I'm excited about it. It's a different feel than it was last year in a lot of ways.
Sure.
One, offensively, there's a lot more weapons, a lot more confidence offensively. Defense, you've added a lot more. I mean, I know Darby's out, but Darby over Carroll's huge. Mm-hmm. Jalen Mills' second year's huge. Rasul Douglas in the mix is better than what you had last year. So all parts of your defense point to you're better. Michael Kendrick is playing like a football player now. Yeah. So, I mean, everything points to it's a better team than it was.
Yeah, and
hopefully.
The surprise in this mix is the guy that we were ready to ship out of here before the season, Patrick Robinson, and they move him into the slot, and he's having the best season of his career. Go figure. I mean, that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, but that's just making it easier on a guy, too. A guy who does have the speed to cover slot guys. Now you're not matching up against as many ones or twos as you would, and you're matching up with more quicker guys that sort of fit what you can do too. Right. So some guys really translate well moving in the slot. I thought Ron Brooks was really great in the slot, and a big reason why we were 3-0 last year, and off to a hot start. And I thought his injury and Lane Johnson's killed that momentum because now you're bringing Malcolm Jenkins into the slot. It ruined your defense. I never knew why they did that. They always do it, and it ruined the defense because now your safety stinks. Because now you're putting Jalen Watkins back there. So you hurt one spot and then hurt another. Mm-hmm. Never understood that. And offensively, they just weren't good enough. Too many drops, too many things like that. And that was the culture you were coming in to try to change and teach these kids. Tons of comments coming in. John Malmos, if they split the back-to-back West Coast, I'm happy. So that's Rams, Seattle. Or Seattle, Rams.
Well, they should. They should beat the Rams. They should lose to the Seahawks. I mean,
you're right. They should, but the Rams have proven to be a formidable team this year.
I could actually see it the other way too, like where you go
lose
Seattle.
To the Rams.
Well, they always
Seattle.
They always lose or win a game they're supposed to do the other way.
By the way, Sean McVay is absolutely my new man crush. I'm just going public with that right now.
Great guy.
He's a movie star playing a football coach.
I love how he just takes defense off. He just goes, sits down, just like, go ahead.
I got things to do.
I don't give a crap.
I got things to do.
I'm going to go sit next to my quarterback and see how he's doing.
Jeremy Bewin, Mike, I love it, bro. Preach. NFC is wide open. Daniel Bakley, Rob, the Rams are a dark horse, but their defense gives up so many points. And that was Rob saying, Rams, question mark.
They're playing well. They're not
in the NFC.
Yeah, and David Roska actually chimed in on the YouTube, and he goes, my Rams are 3-1. They're for real. Okay, I hear you.
Defensively, they are.
They're finally scoring points.
I'm not going to question it.
And I was the one last year who said to a lot of my friends that Jared Goff is going to turn it around. Here's a kid who hasn't had a full year in the NFL yet. They should have threw him in there, let him take his lumps, learn the system. Now he's starting to get his way. He's starting to feel a little bit. And he's getting better.
Still got small hands.
He loves Cup. He loves that kid, Cup. Man.
And he's got such
All day
baby
long.
hands, too, which worries.
Getting it done, though. Who cares?
He is, though. He is getting it done, though. To his credit,
all about results.
To his credit, how much better does he look?
Oh, yeah.
Well, when you surround him with
confidence.
stuff.
Yeah, just a little bit of confidence. A little bit of confidence.
And Gurley
Yeah.
looks like a running back again.
But, Mike, I'm the biggest believer of that, man. You go up, you're drafting 1 or 2, and you're taking a quarterback.
Get him in there.
Get him in. You're not
Get
good
him
enough.
in
You're
there.
not good enough to say, oh, we're going to let him come along slowly. And we talked about it last year.
Unless you're Chicago.
Yeah, unless you're Chicago. Dump's fire.
What a mess that
It's a mess. I think he's going to struggle. I don't know.
Glennon stole.
Monday night against the Vikings. Come
Great
on.
job.
Mike Glennon, biggest thief in the NFL, stole $41 million from the Bears and still was riding the bench.
Actually,
Unbelievable.
what's really funny about that, though, is that game, is that in Chicago or is that at Minnesota?
I don't know.
Because if that game is in Chicago,
I think it is in Chicago, by the way.
I'm going to take the Bears and the points.
Oh, God.
No.
Just go to the toilet and flush your money.
I mean, unless we're talking 14.
I have a feeling, this is just me, and take it for what it's worth. I have a feeling the Bears are going to open up that offense with Trubisky at quarterback.
Unless that defense gets 3 fumbles and returns the
doesn't
ball.
matter. They're going to let him sling it 50 times because they're going to have to.
Unless that defense gets 3 fumble recovers and runs them all in, they're not scoring.
Yeah.
Because Trubisky's going to struggle. He's going to be running for his life.
He was better in the preseason than Glennon was.
Well,
He's another one. He's
preseason
another
also
one that should
has-
have been started from day one.
Yeah, preseason also has guys in it that are doing carpentry work.
I
now,
hear
so.
you. Mike, though, going back to your earlier point, though, when you were saying, like, 4 games, this week is big for me because when I look at a Major League Baseball season, I always say give it 50 games. Somewhere around the 50-game mark, you should know what you have.
Right.
And you tie that then to an NFL season where basically every game in the NFL is the equivalent to 10 Major League Baseball games, percentage-wise of your schedule. So for me, as you start to get through week 5, this is where you need to know what you are, what you have and what you are. So this week for me is huge. I hear what you're saying about the Seattle game, and I don't disagree with you. That's going to be a huge measuring stick for them. But they need to know well before they go out to the West Coast what they have and who they are, and that's got to be this week.
Yeah.
No, I like that. You're going to find out a lot. Yeah, you will find out a lot.
Well,
To
they
Greg's point,
got a decent defense, Arizona,
Yeah.
so you'll see.
They definitely do. Michael Gavin said they said Alex Smith had small hands too, and my response, he does.
Yeah, I'm one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now, though.
Yeah.
Vikings -3 in Chicago. I'm not laying. You can't give me 3
no,
points.
you got to give me more than 3.
You give me a touchdown.
And don't go
I
by
might be with you.
and don't go by interdivisional home dog.
No,
Throw that
no,
out
no,
with
no,
this
no,
game.
no way. There's no way. Rookie quarterback.
But that's all it was. Just
Rookie,
3.
How is that
a
only
rookie
3?
quarterback starting his
'Cause
first
Case
game on a
Keenum-
Monday night.
Because
So-
Case Keenan's still starting
So
for Minnesota.
Glennon's in with that a pick 'em. I mean, come on, Trubisky's only getting 3 points. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, because
No, well-
Minnesota still has no quarterback.
Yeah, they don't have a
If
quarterback.
Bradford was there,
But they
it'd
have
probably
a hell of
be
a
7.
defense.
Well, no
Yeah, the hell
quarterback and no
defense.
Dalvin Cook.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well,
It takes your line way down.
Okay.
What else you got, brother?
Doug Zeke.
Again?
Phillies were 12-38.
The vets, again, there you go.
Good point.
That's a good point, Doug.
He's back.
And he ain't wrong on that one.
No, Vinny Madsen, Atlanta in the Dome, not happening right now, though. AFC and NFC are totally up for grabs. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Stream Smart, Vinny. Vinny, drop your link. Use the A2D promo code. Get all MLB, NHL, NBA, NFL games, UFC, the whole 9. We're going to get the Flyers on in
Say
a minute.
we'll get some NHL rolling up in here pretty soon.
Sammy Nelson. This week is another game where the Eagles are playing a better line. Got to capitalize on it. Yes, you do. Go get him, Sammy. Michael Gavin. Trubisky will get eaten alive. Right, well, I hope he
alive.
does. Sort of hope he does. Bob Hartman. What up, fellas? What up, Bobby?
What's up, Bob?
The guy in the Doug corner with me. Not a lot of us. We're in it. You're not.
Nope.
Just confirming.
I think I furnished it. You
You and the
bought it.
secretary?
You bought it. I furnished it.
Yeah, with his secretary.
I still want Jaws as a GM though,
Yeah.
and I'll
So you
ride
can
that
say
train until
the
it
National
until it
Football
crashes.
Trubisky's going to get eaten alive, and Carson Palmer's got the mobility of a filing cabinet. So this should be interesting.
Rob Hove, Mitchapalooza.
Mitchie Palooza.
Yeah, he might be running naked. He could be running naked through the streets of Chicago.
Bring your green hat.
Yeah. We're streaking.
Snoop. Snoop-a-loop.
I know him. Michael Klinkoff chimed in earlier. I want to get his. Hold on, give me 1 second to find it.
Lonzo
Where's he
Ball?
at? No, Clinky. No.
So, Greg, I'll ask you this: Is John Lynch the GM of the year in shafting Chicago to making them move up.
He was the GM of the year before the trade even drew.
To draft
before the trade dried, I think he was.
To draft a quarterback that they never even wanted.
It was
unbelievable.
I mean, we talked about it. We talked about it before, and yeah, I mean,
it's
what
unbelievable.
he was able to do to come out of the first round with Foster and whoever he picked at 2, it didn't matter or 3. It didn't matter at that point because you just fleeced Chicago and tricked them into taking this quarterback.
To think if you're in that Chicago war room and you're sitting there and say, "Oh man, we got to get up there. San Francisco's going to take them." You got to be out of your mind.
Yeah,
out of your mind. You got to get fired right away too.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
They should have. And Lynch did a great job of solidifying the middle of his defense early on and saying, this is a young football team. I'm going to rebuild it the right way. I'm going to rebuild it starting up the middle.
And Thomas, sorry.
Yeah, it's not always
the name.
And a month before, you gave a guy $41 million as a backup quarterback to come here for 3 years. And you move up to number 2 to get another quarterback.
Well, Lynch and Solomon Thomas were doing stuff at Stanford together. If you didn't know that, Chicago, you're not doing your homework that was the guy they wanted.
So bad.
Quinky, Phillies moved down to AAA because they're trash. Well, you listen. Don't get on your high horse, okay? Yeah. We know who the Pirates really are, deep down. And he said Wentz is very good escaping pressure, so that was early on. But he said the Phillies are trash and they should move to AAA. But he forgets who the Pirates really are.
Actually, Mike, I got one on the YouTube chat that might be geared towards you.
Okay.
Glenn Phillips, who are you picking on Thursday night, Bucks or Patriots?
My hope is that the Bucks can hang in this game. I mean, I don't think they're going to win because the Patriots are coming off a loss. They're going to the Bucks area. They're upset. But this is a turning point for my team. If they can hang with the Super Bowl champs and stay in this game, I'm happy about that.
Which they should.
I mean, they should. Their defense struggled a little bit. Their secondary is a little
Did they get Doug
shaky.
Martin back?
They do this week.
This week.
This week they got him back. Yeah.
I knew we were right in that range.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, have they decided, is he going to start right away? Because they were playing that game where he's off of suspension, but they don't know how they're going to use him.
I think they're going to mix him in with Jacques Rogers a little bit. They're going to try to get him acclimated to the offense.
Now, here's where I go with this for our listener, Glenn. Patriots on a Thursday night on the road after a loss.
Short week.
Lock City.
It's a lock.
Lock City.
It is a lock. You lock it up right now.
Short week, travel week.
And it will be.
But you're traveling in warm weather. That don't matter.
They will cover, and it may be the over.
If it's any kind of scenario for the Bucks on their side, it is because they lost on Sunday. Like I said, short travel week. They're going down to Tampa. Bucks got to stay in this game. They can't get blown out.
Here's actually the one thing I will say, though.
5.5, by the way.
If there's been one thing that we've seen this year with the Patriots that actually does play into Tampa's hands, you could throw on them a lot. So
their defense is not the same.
Their defense is not the same without Hightower.
Yeah, I mean, if Jameis comes out hot and Evans is getting open, Deshaun's getting open, he's using the tight ends, he's using the backside of the backfield, Tampa will hang for a while. But I have a feeling the GOAT's a little pissed off.
Well, they've said Gilmore for New England, his problem is he's used to playing so much man that Belichick hasn't playing zone. He's not comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And he could be either rebelling against or saying, this and that. He's not comfortable. And that's what's happening. They're getting beat.
Beat all over the place.
Yeah.
Hard Knocks selling lies with Deshaun Jackson.
Hard Knocks was pretty good, though. Deshaun's got to catch the ball, though. I mean,
No, he does. Bob Hartman, the Patriots defense is horrible.
Yep.
We got a couple questions. Michael Gavin. Does Fox make it through the year in Chicago?
Yeah.
I just think yes, just because now you roll with the quarterback now.
And he's got injuries.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say that if he would have stuck with Glennon, he probably would have lost his job. But now that he's gone to the kid, he saves his job for the rest of the year.
We said week 7 he was out, and Trubisky's in, but he went to it sooner. He had to. They're terrible.
Yeah, he did. Sam Nelson, who should cover Fitzgerald's, Mills or Douglas? Douglas.
Well, Douglas is taller.
Well,
Douglas.
no, I mean it's
speed reasons.
Right, but here's the problem,
Douglas.
though.
It's speed. Mills is faster.
But it's Patrick Robinson because Fitz plays the slot exclusively now. That'll be an interesting matchup because Fitz is probably the one guy, like you were saying, like he doesn't have to cover ones because he's playing the slot. Arizona's that anomaly where their one plays exclusively out of the slot.
Right.
So that'll be an interesting match.
You're not going to get to Fitzgerald either. Like Beckham, you can get him nuts a little bit in
Yeah.
the game, get him off his game. You're not going to get to Fitzgerald.
Nah, he's going to do what he does.
Right.
I love
And
Fitz.
Oh,
I do. I love
Still a great player. I mean,
All he does is
what can you
catch
say?
football.
That's it.
I know you hate to do this with young kids, but I would almost consider moving Rasul into the slot this weekend and getting Robinson on the outside. Because, you know what I mean?
I don't hate it.
They're going to put, speedier guys on the
Yeah,
outside.
because Brown and Nelson can fly.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be careful, and you got to match up well in this game. And the only way you're going to match up is Rasul, to me, is the slower of the three, in my eyes. And he's a little taller, a little more physical, and I think that's a better matchup. And Mills is physical, don't get me wrong, but he's got a little more speed to cover on the outside too. So I look to put my speed more on the outside and Douglas on the inside.
So you go in Douglas on Fitz in the slot, and then Mills on who? John Brown, and then you go Robinson on J.J. Nelson.
Yeah, I think I go Robinson.
You got to watch it. Don't overthink it, because if you get pass rush to Carson Palmer, all bets are off then.
Yep,
It's true.
So
Yeah.
then it doesn't matter.
then you can move some guys around, but like I said, you get a pass rush to him, Carson Palmer's not the speediest guy in the world.
No.
You can get to him.
No, it'll fold. Bob Hartman, Fitz is going to be all over, and they need to have speed on the outside. We could see a little of everybody covering Fitz, including Malcolm. Yeah,
Yeah,
you could see some Malcolm.
Well, you'll have to move some guys
I know.
around
I know
there.
how much you love that, Tommy. Malcolm in the slot.
Nah, I despise it.
I know.
Flat out despise it. But
You can even get Mills on him and give Jenkins some help over there. That's all.
So do we have predictions?
yeah, we do have predictions. Gentlemen, get it rolling.
Turn it over to you.
You want to go to me first?
Yeah. Give us score, winner, and player of the game.
I'm going to say this is going to be a game that they should win, but they're going to lose, unfortunately. I think it's going to be 28-27. Player of the game, let's go with Andre Ellington. Let's go out on a limb. Let's say they expect the unexpected with the Cardinals, and Ellington gets loose.
All right.
Interesting.
It's a well thought out pick.
No, absolutely. And I could definitely see it happening. I also have a close game. I have 24-21 Birds. And my player of the game is going to be Jalen Mills with a late interception as they drive. Because I just think the defense, as the last 3 weeks, is going to give up points late. So we might be up, 14-0, 21-7, and then they come storming back. And that's my thought process.
I will throw in this could be his first interception game, too. Carson Wentz. So
I'm going way down low end of the spectrum on this one. Going 16-7 Birds. They'll match touchdowns. Jake knocks 3 of them through.
Well, we pick him up right now.
I already got him.
I'm in 4 other leagues.
I thought Doug was going for 2 twice. That's
No,
why he got 60.
I think it comes down to some of what you saw last week against the Chargers, where the Birds will put one in early, and then it becomes field position. They wind up kicking 3 field goals. Maybe he goes 3 for 4. He misses one from distance, but they hold Arizona to 16-7. Hard-fought home win.
Yeah.
Player of the game, Jake. Three field goals. It's Jake.
Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm.
State Farm.
Khakis.
Nothing.
She sounds hideous.
Well,
She's a guy, so.
I don't know. I think Carson has a really good week this week. I like when you go up against situations like this where, it's going to be tough to pass on and this, that, and the third. I think this is where guys shine. And this is where you want to see them leaders step up and have good games. I'm going to go, not lopsided, I'm going to go 28-17. Maybe a late touch out of Arizona. I think they win this game a little easier than other weeks. Other weeks I felt a little closer in my games and my predictions. This week I think it's a little bit easier. They're one-dimensional, man, and this front four can go get it. So this is a week where I believe they're going to go get it. They're going to get a lot of sacks this week. They're going to put pressure on them. They're going to create turnovers, and it's going to lead to some easier scores. And that's where I get the 28 from. Some easier touchdowns, maybe 14 come off of turnovers, good field position. Player of the game, Carson Wentz. I think he throws for over 300 yards against the great secondary that is the Arizona Cardinals, and has a big week this week.
Be careful.
Big week.
Be careful.
Big week.
Before we get off the Birds here,
I just like going the other side of shit. When guys come out crowning secondaries, I'm going to go to the other side.
before we get off this, there's actually on the YouTube chat, kind of circling back to a
matter
bunch
what
of the
you say.
stuff that we talked about. Glenn Phillips is asking about a Pats-Eagles Super Bowl rematch. What do we think?
Jesus, I'll blow
No.
somebody.
We just we just started
I'm
talking
sorry, that was a
about.
little aggressive, but
Did we
it's
just
real.
start talking about?
Robbie, isolate that.
We're not crowning.
Let me just get ready. Sorry.
You got spanked last week, and now you're going to blow somebody. see what kind of shit happens when family relations start? All right, seriously, bring it back. What do we think?
I would say no because this team didn't even get to the heart of their schedule yet. That they're going to have a little bit of problems with Denver, Oakland. You got some tough teams. I mean, I can't put the Eagles in the Super Bowl yet. Can't
right.
put the Pats in there yet. I mean, they're 2-2. They'll get it together, but no, not yet.
Greg's just got the smirk. He's like,
No,
hell no.
yeah. I mean, it's just too early. I mean,
Way too
we
early.
were talking halfway through the year.
I told you what I was going to do.
Yeah, I know.
I think that spoke.
I mean, would I take
Yeah.
it? Would I take it?
Wait,
Absolutely.
Would this town not burn itself to the ground if they go back to the Super Bowl
And lose again?
No, and beat them.
Oh,
and just
Oh, my God.
avenge the whole Spygate thing.
I'm going on vacation that week. There's no way I'm
Ryan Brodo chimes in 28-24 Birds.
28-24 Birds.
Okay.
Bob Hartman, I need Graham to show up this week. The pass rush was not there last week. We definitely missed Fletch last week.
Oh, no
we
question.
did. But Brandon Graham's got to step up. Pro Bowl caliber end. Got to go get it.
Does the lack of – does the field goals constantly worry you guys?
What, settle for threes?
Yeah.
Stalling.
No, because you're not coming out of drives without points. That's how I look at it. I mean, if you're coming – I don't love to settle for three too much, but, I mean, it could be worse. The last thing I want to be doing is turning the football over down there, losing momentum. At least with three, coming away with three in drives, keeps the momentum in your favor a little bit more than a turnover down there, a fumble, a missed kick that we dealt with, things like that. I mean, I'd much rather the three go in than a miss wide left, and we're calling Norwood up.
Right.
We don't want to do that.
To me, I'm not super concerned right now because I feel like it's fixable. And the reason that I say that is, I mean, you're 3 Torrey Smith drops away from 3 of those field goals becoming touchdowns. And if they do start giving Mac Hollis a little more time, if they stop putting Torrey in positions where he's got to make these tough catches on deep balls, even though realistically he should be making those grabs, it's fixable.
Yeah.
And I do think if the drops continue, we're going to start seeing more and more of Mac Hollis.
Well, didn't Charles Johnson get on the field this week as well?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that
what's
goes –
his name? Marcus Johnson.
Marcus Johnson, I'm
I was
sorry.
like,
Yeah.
I know I had to think
Yeah.
about it for a minute, but because you know what it is, he changed his number.
Okay.
He was number 84 in camp, and now he's like 14, and it totally threw me for a loop. I'm looking, I'm like, 14. Who the hell is that guy?
I mean, ultimately, win the game is what we want. But it is a little concerning, kind of with the secondary late in the games. Again, though, you're right. It can be fixed. The secondary can be fixed. Those late in game lapses can get fixed. But I think it is a tad bit concerning. I'm not ready to jump all over. But you do need in these close games against better teams. You need to start pushing them in.
The only time it's a problem when they're kicking a lot of field goals is when they're in the red zone and they're kicking field goals. Then, because they were horrible in the red zone last year. If they're doing that again this year, that means they're going in reverse, and that's not a good thing.
Bob Hartman. I love Bobby because he thinks like on the same level
Hi, Bob.
all the time. Do we see an unbalanced attack this week? Frank Reich mentioned that it's a game-by-game situation. There's going to be games where Carson throws the ball a lot. Wow. That's interesting.
He's going to throw a lot. You better be careful of Patrick Peterson back there. I know you don't want to talk about secondaries, Tom, but Patrick Peterson is going to be all over the place on Sunday.
I don't buy that one. I don't buy it. He is the most overrated corner in all football. Him and Joe Hayden can go hand in hand. They can hold hands and kumbaya together because that's how them two are so overrated at the corner position. There's so many better corners in this league that are shutdown type guys than Patrick Peterson at this point of his career. If you got speed guys that can go and match up against him, they're gonna take him to the wood a little bit. I'm just not in love with him. I don't know. I mean, I used to, and I just feel like his skills diminished a little bit.
He's got more picks than Sherman, and everybody loves Sherman. So.
No, I know. I mean, Sherman's got a lot of help around him too. You know what I mean? He's got the best. He's got the best middleman in all
You can
football.
say that
in
about
Earl
a bunch of
Thomas.
teams. You can say that about a bunch of teams.
I don't know. This Arizona
Earl
defense
Thomas
is good.
who
I
should
get they
be-
rank in top
Earl Thomas
categories
who
all
should
the
be an
time.
Eagle.
But again, they're not. I mean, this ain't the 85 Bears, and that's what I'm trying to get across here. It's not that like a disrespect to Patrick Peterson. It's not a disrespect to the Honey Badger. This team lost Calais Campbell and walked to free agency. That's not the same front four that it was previously. Their linebacker core not the same.
They're still a top 10. That's
I
all
understand
said.
where but you can't have it both ways. You can't when we talk Eagles top 10 in situations. I don't feel you're buying into
I've
it.
never-
But then you buy into them being a top 10.
I praised them.
I know you
gave
did.
him I gave him credit.
So this is my praise to Arizona.
All right,
There
here's
it
my
is.
praise to Doug.
Good. Who looks smarter right now? Bruce Arians or Doug? Really? Come on, I'll wait for that one.
Okay.
Bruce Arians looks like an idiot. If you want to talk about idiots and morons and clueless.
Bruce Arians' bank account don't look like an
Oh,
idiot.
no, I get that, but
Eddie's in Arizona.
I don't see the offensive
Near just
genius.
Mike Lennon.
But you know what I'm saying? No, I just don't buy in to the Arizona Cardinals and them ranking top 10 defensively. I don't buy into at the quarter mark of this year. I'm not buying into that. Talent-wise, I'm not buying into it. Do I like the Badger? Yes. But who else besides they got two other weak links in their secondary. It's not like all four or the Seattle Seahawks when they were going to Super Bowls. It's just there's chinks.
We'll talk about a team that has to throw now. They lost David Johnson. I mean, that's all they had to do is throw. They have no running backs, and they got to throw the ball to death now.
No, they do. They do. But when they get into them shootout-type games, their defense gives up a lot, too, because now they're on the field a lot. Right. So you get them in 3-and-outs. You keep their defense on the field. Yeah. I think that's where I get that. I think we can score points, and Carson's going to have a big day because I'm feeling turnovers. I'm feeling pressure. I'm feeling a lot of 3-and-outs. I'm feeling we're going to dominate time possession again, which we should this week. To Mike's point, no David Johnson. We should.
Right.
So everything leads to a little bit.
I hear you.
A little bit of an easy one.
The one dark horse that I'm going to be focused on a lot this week is Hassan Reddick. He's the kid from Camden, out of Temple, coming home,
having a good year.
Yeah, I mean he's having a good year. Mm-hmm. He's playing basically in front of his hometown in the stadium where he played his college ball. If there's anybody on that defense that's going to be motivated, it's going to be him.
Yep.
Now, I mean, is he going to take over the game? No, he's not going to take over the game, but I have a gut feeling that he's just going to play real well.
He'll make some plays. He'll make a couple
real
plays.
Well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I like him. I was hoping that he would have slipped a little bit, and the Birds may have made a move on that.
No, we don't draft linebackers.
Well,
no, why do that?
Clearly.
Exactly.
Golden's out for the year, too. Michael Gavin.
Mm-hmm.
Vic. We need one to keep running the ball. It's a lot of pressure off of Wentz when he's throwing more than the run game. I'm done. That's it. I got through that one.
There we go.
I just don't. Again, I'm not going to buy into that. It doesn't need to be every week where you got to pound the ball like Arab Blunt, and it's just that now it's tunnel vision. If I'm thinking like that, that's what I don't want my coach doing is having that tunnel vision. I think that's what we're trying to avoid here, right? Week to week. I mean, I think that's what some of your issues. The first two, then you see him come back and run it. Now you're like, oh, the guy does have a game plan. He does think on his feet a little bit. He's not clueless, right?
Sure.
Again, I still cannot get you to buy into that. I don't know what the hell
I'm not
going to
change you after 3 games.
It's 4.
Okay, 4 games.
I actually,
3 good ones.
I actually got a couple good questions here on the YouTube chat. One specifically on the Birds. Ryan Brodo, what do you guys think about the apparent reports, in air quotes, of Sidney Jones being back by week 8?
No.
I don't see it either.
If he is, you don't bring him back.
No.
Nope.
You took a big chance on this guy with bad injury.
Oh,
you got to keep him out.
I redshirt him. Even if he's healthy, I redshirt him.
Isn't that another reason why you went out and got Darby?
Yeah.
For this year, too?
Yeah,
because
why give up the pick?
Right.
If you know your guy's going to be back.
Yeah, you want it. You want it.
Right.
I mean, you know where this report comes from? This is why I love freaking Eagles fans. I love it. This is why I love it. And I know it's report here. The guy caught a one-handed ball in practice today. He's back.
Well, JoJo's playing tennis, so.
Somebody put that out through the grapevine somewhere when a guy's standing there not even moving, and now he's ready to come back. I love Madden.
This could be a game.
I love Madden.
This could be a game for the Eagles they call a trap game that they could be looking past because next week, folks, if you look at the schedule, they are off to Carolina. So this could be a game. Well, we got the Cardinals at home. They're limping in. They don't have David Johnson. Better be careful.
See, now
be careful.
It's funny because I would think Carolina would be the trap game. I think they come home from the West Coast. They handle their business. But I think Carolina becomes the trap because they know they get through Carolina and they got 11 days off. Because after Carolina, they don't play again until Monday night the following week. So I don't believe in the trap game to begin with.
If you blow somebody out, I more buy into the trap the next week than I do when you're winning tough ones. You know, if you went to LA and you just roll jobbed them, then I got a little bit of a feeling you come back and you lay a little bit more of an egg. But the fact that you know it's been close, it's been tough, you have no reason to think that it's just Arizona. Like compared to if you roll teams and you're 3-1 by rolling, then that trap's going to come quicker because now it's like, oh, look who we are.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we're just rolling teams. Everybody's easy. They got to fight through every game they've won so far, and I think that takes away the trap happening a little bit more. Not saying it can't happen. I sort of agree with you. You win another one, you get 4-1, start smelling yourselves a little bit. Yeah. You go to Carolina, maybe lay an egg there. Or guess what? They could be smelling themselves now, and that's fine. But that's not what I want this football team doing.
I just think with the David Johnson loss, people might think Arizona went south a little bit, and that's the only thing. You kind of don't look past them a little bit. That's all.
No, that's the league, right? I mean, that's the whole league. I mean, you go week to week and you think anybody's a cupcake, you're in trouble.
Yep.
And Bill showed that in Atlanta. Yep. I get it. They have a great defense. I get all that. But you went in the dome and beat them. That's tough to do.
Yeah. Well, to your point, Mike, they lost Julio and they dropped off.
And that's their MO. I mean, he's that special.
Sanu got hurt now. I mean, they're in trouble.
Yeah, they're in a lot now.
A real good question from Glenn Phillips. Do you guys think Antonio Brown from the Steelers should be benched for his rant and behavior last week?
Absolutely not. Why are you going to bench your number one guy for something like that?
Yeah, I wouldn't bench him.
Bench him.
He's just a baby.
No.
He's an infant.
He's a diva.
All wide receivers are.
Is he a rookie? He's been there how long? He's been your number one guy. He's been a face in the NFL. You got to let him play.
You ever see that dude do a Facebook Live, man?
Yeah.
That's everything you need to know. Just watch the demeanor. No, I mean, he looks at himself like, ooh, look at him. That's all I need to know.
Actually, Mike, if anything, I'm fired up that he did that because he wants to play. He wants the ball thrown him all the time.
Oh, I hear you.
So,
Terrell wants to know if Mike has pants on because, like, if you look at the shot.
Wait,
I do.
I do
have pants. So should I stand up? Should I give you a little?
Which Mike is he talking about, me or him? Because I'm hidden behind the table in the shot.
It wouldn't be a great show if I didn't have pants on right now. So.
Terrell says nice Ripken jersey as well.
Yes.
Bob Hartman, Sydney also tweeted that 7 that has everybody speculating too. I guess Sydney also tweeted week 7.
No,
I don't know.
Just put that to bed. Put that to bed. Put that to bed.
Bob Hartman saying, depending on how he practices, maybe see him after the bye week.
That's when somebody in the Eagles PR department just needs to go disable his Twitter account.
That's just somebody starting a rumor out there, just getting it rolling.
Vic says, I think we still need corners even with Jones and Darby. No, I don't think so because it'll be Jones, Darby, and Mills. I mean, you're deep now.
Yeah.
You're deep and you're young back there. I'm not saying like Pro Bowl deep, but you're a legitimate secondary now with McLeod and Jenkins behind them.
Right.
Because, I mean, McLeod came out with a purpose this week. You could tell he hasn't played in a couple. I mean, just before that game started, I was worrying about some of these, like, traveling West Coast, playing in a soccer stadium. Do you lay a little bit of an egg? And he was walking around jacked up to go. And I was like, okay, I think we're all right. I don't think we're going to fall into this. And he was looking to hit everybody. Rodney McLeod's a really underrated safety in this league.
And if you do, who are you getting now? You pulling somebody off a practice squad? I mean,
I'm okay with drafting more next year.
You roll what you have now. I mean,
Ryan chimed back in. Who do you guys think are the 3 best teams in the NFC right now?
Well, Detroit, Green Bay,
Seattle,
Philly. Nah, I don't. I can't buy into their offense. I just can't. I can't.
You put Carolina in there? They went into New England and just beat New England.
Cam Newton stinks.
Yeah, but they got rolled.
I know.
Put up 36 points.
I know. But then Greg's point, they got rolled by the Saints
and kicked me out of every
they're not consistent enough for me. That's their deal. Cam's not consistent enough in the pocket. Cam's not consistent enough outside the pocket.
Yeah.
Cam's just not consistent, period.
Well,
but now, guess what? To your point, though, Mike, we've seen in the past when they get going and they start getting that confidence and they play relaxed and having fun.
They're a problem.
They are a problem. So, I mean, I agree with you that they're in that conversation. No, I mean, because it's so wide open. It is. They have to
they're
be.
6-3-1 teams. It's so hard to pick 3 out of them.
Yeah.
I'm going Seattle, Green Bay, and the Birds.
That's a good one. I mean, Seattle, to me, the reason I put Detroit ahead of Seattle is because they can flat out score. And Seattle just doesn't. they really got to come get you. They got to play their game. That it's got to be a defensive battle, and Russell Wilson's got to make enough plays to win him a game. To me, they put too much on him, and not saying like that's to begin their franchise guy. He was never that guy. He just never is, and they refuse to put talent around him. They want to put these. I like Doug Baldwin a lot, but besides Doug Baldwin and Jimmy Graham to a point, there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
You go back to a running game again with them.
And
then you got Lacey, who you brought in, who they had a healthy scratch 2 games ago. You got Carson, who had a bad game last week.
And he's hurt.
And he's down for a year,
you got in there. Now you got this other kid in there, Mackanin. I mean, it's a rolling door there. So you don't have a running game. You can't throw the ball downfield. So
no, and it's not like they have a good three-headed monster.
No, they got Jimmy Graham, too. They can't get him the ball because he's under pressure. He's running around the whole time.
And their offensive line stinks.
Right.
Yeah.
It really hasn't got better from last year.
Actually, here's what's funny about this is.
But they're still tough at home, though, Mike.
Exactly.
It's still not a place you want to go.
That defense is tough.
In cold weather and think you're going to go in and beat them. It's tough.
I've actually watched a Seattle Eagles game from the upper level in the end zone, like behind the back end of the goal line. And one of the key things to the Seattle offense, which is why I think this whole Jimmy Graham thing is a mess for them, is Russell Wilson is so small that a huge part of their passing game, it's predicated on them actually opening up throwing lanes for him, where when he drops back, their offensive linemen actually – their movements are back because they're pass blocking, but everything is off to the side, like they're trying to open up holes for a running back so that he has throwing lanes down the field. If Jimmy Graham is not staying into block, their pass protection is a mess. So typically what you're going to see with Jimmy Graham is everything outside and short. Or if they can get him up a seam, but if they get him up a seam, it's got to be the center and the guard opening up a passing lane for him. Yeah. And I just think it's one of the things about Seattle's offense that a lot of people don't catch on to or they don't notice. But if you look at the throws that he makes, he's not throwing darts 15 to 20 yards up the middle of the field. Everything he throws is either has arc or is to the outside because he's just not big enough to just rear back and fire the way a Wentz or a Brady or a Winston or whoever does.
Right.
And it's just a wrinkle of their offense that they're never going to be able to get rid of while they have a 5'10" guy at quarterback.
And they've never had the kind of offense to throw to a Graham over the middle, through the middle. It's either, like you said, it's either downfield, gun it, bomb it, or he's off to the races.
Yeah.
So they don't get him involved more.
Mike, you want to read Jeremy's right there?
Oh, jeez. Tom, you got an awesome kicker on the panel, Mike Galetta. And you can still hit a 45-yard. That's right. I can still hit a 45. On our show, actually, the Sports Box, we did a kicking competition. I did kick a 40-yard field goal. I was a kicker in high school and college.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
And I actually played semi-pro ball for a little while, and I did get a tryout with the Redskins, believe it or not. So
Sweet.
you have a celeb on the show. How about
Celeb.
that? See that?
Flat out boot.
Autograph show later on tonight. So
We're signing footballs.
signing footballs.
So Glenn Phillips chimes back in. Titans got rolled by the Texans. Where do you see them going? I don't think you could do anything with the Titans until you figure out what's going on with the quarterback.
They roll as Marcus Mariota rolls.
Yeah,
right.
Literally.
exactly.
One game. I mean,
Literally.
it's one game.
And then Ryan chimes back in. Same question, AFC, 3 best teams.
Chiefs.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Pats, still.
I read something today. This is the 5th or 6th time the Chiefs have been alone unbeaten and never won a playoff game that season.
Stop.
Like something crazy like that.
I'm going Chiefs, Pats, and I'm actually going to – I might be missing that team, but I actually like the Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos are
I like the Denver Broncos. I mean, tall, physical. Trevor Siemian does enough.
and that defense is an
they have,
animal.
yeah, and they have playmakers offensively. So, I mean, I do really like them. And you got to go to Denver to play. It's trouble. Too.
Well, you go back to our preseason show where I had the Raiders. I mean, I was all in on the Raiders and Derek Carr, and now he's out, 3 to 6?
Yeah, and I was all in on the Chiefs.
So
that works. But they're healthy, so there's difference.
And it's,
And I agree with you, but the funny thing is we say Pats, and the Pats are middle division, and the Bills are 3-1, and nobody even is in the discussion with the Bills.
Yeah, and it's so tough to buy into that right now. Sean McDermott doing a great job though.
Yep.
Good defensive football guy.
Yeah.
Defense wins games. Defense wins Super Bowls.
And look what they lost defensively over the years too. I mean, every big name guy, Gilmore, Darby secondary, just two to come to mind. They lost what's his face.
Mario Williams never panned out there.
Yeah, but who just went to Washington? Brown, who's with Washington now.
Brown.
A guy who had like 150 plus tackles for him.
Yep.
Kiko Alonso, guys like that, and everything just is going out the door, and they still manage to put a good a product out
They
there.
They do have Jordan Matthews though.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan Matthews is now out.
Yeah.
Hand surgery.
Yeah.
Shady's not playing well. Tyrod is average at best.
Yeah.
That's smoking.
Traded Sammy Watkins.
Smoke and mirrors, but they're doing it.
You watch how you talk about my fantasy quarterback like that.
Vic brought up a name that I'm not going to talk about as a backup for the Eagles, and I'm not even bringing the name up. So
Why
I
are
don't
we
know
talking-
why.
why are we
I
talking
don't
backup?
know.
Why even? Yeah.
I don't know.
Really.
Jeremy Beeman, I got the Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl rematch.
There we
Super
go.
Bowl, the rematch.
There we go.
Wait, Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl rematch?
Yeah. When was that?
When did that happen the first time?
I don't know. So
I get maybe he's talking about 2
maybe
weeks ago.
Tecmo Bowl or.
Oh, a rematch from
this
this
season.
season.
Oh, yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Oh.
I got you.
Daniel Bakley, Chiefs, Broncos, and wait for it, Texans. Watson looking good.
Watson's looking good,
Looking
and
like a
that
stud.
defense
Yep.
is still.
Looks like he's figured it out.
No running game. Lamar Miller's trash.
Oh,
He
he is.
It's so hard to put them in the top three with a pop, but I mean, he has looked good.
He's looked great.
It's so hard for me to put them over New
he's
England.
given them enough
They're still
balance.
not. But
Right.
they beat him. New England beat him.
Yeah.
He's given them enough balance so he can throw. So he's taking a little bit off of him.
Sam Nelson about the Seahawks. This is a good one too. They were without no Cliff Averill anymore, and that that's tough for that front four too.
Well, you got to look back at the Seahawks. They were always built from the offensive line, and their offensive line is Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
They've really gone away from getting guys in
to
there.
your point with Russell Wilson is, he can't throw over. What Drew Brees, what made him so great is he had the arm strength to make those throws that Russell can't. So he's got to go to the
right. Well, Drew Brees was also the best tiptoe passer I've ever seen.
But he had the arm strength to fire it in the middle.
Oh, no question.
And get it through the line where that's where Russell lacks.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, Seattle is a good team. They're just not built the right way like they used to be.
No, and listen, they are secondary wise. We can all agree on that. The front four isn't what they used to be, but Bobby Wagner's a flat out stud in the middle. In my opinion, best middle linebacker in football. So, I mean, you still have pieces there. It's just offensively, they're just not enough. And they were enough before. That's with Marshawn and being able to pound the ball. And that was their style of play. And it was time of possession, play great defense, and you're going to most likely come out with a dub. And Russell Wilson did enough in that kind of situation. I always thought when you gave him the keys, he wasn't going to be good enough to take you to that level that you were at. I thought there'd be a drop-off, and there has been.
Seattle will take any offense down defensively and slow them down. Anybody.
No question. Yeah. I agree there.
I got one here that I got a little bit of an issue with. Glenn Phillips chimed back in. Denver has nothing. They brought back Brock Osweiler. I see the Pats going over Denver. Well, all right.
While that might be true with the Pats going over.
Right. Brock Osweiler's not in the discussion. He came back as a number 3.
Right.
I mean, you have Simeon, who you said he just doesn't make mistakes.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a good game manager. He doesn't make mistakes.
And they have Sanchez, don't they?
Well, they have Paxton Lynch.
Oh, that's right.
Is
Paxton
their
Lynch.
number 2.
That's right.
But I'll go back to the same thing I said months ago when there were some whispers in this city that Brock Osweiler might be available. Oh, jeez. Hold on a second, though. If you're not bringing him in to be the starter, this is John Elway's the GM of this team, and he trusts this guy enough to go out and bring him back as a third. I'm sorry. I'll take John Elway's quarterback knowledge and tutoring over anybody in this freaking city. So if people want to bust on Brock Osweiler because of what he did in Houston, that's fine. He was a damn good quarterback for what Denver asked him to do.
Right.
And if Elway wants him back, who am I to say the guy sucks?
Hey, listen, he just wants to be deep there. They really don't have, he wants to have options.
Pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting it back. He knows your system. He just knows the culture there. And
For that team, it's a good fit.
it is.
Zill Jones,
Vic wants to
can
know-
you see the Eagles getting to the NFC Championship
Yeah, I
game if
can.
we stay healthy?
No, I can.
Could happen.
absolutely.
I mean, yeah, I can. Bob Hartman, Marcus Smith. Haha, yeah, on the front forward. Had a sack the other night. That's my guy. That's my guy. I always liked Marcus. But you draft the guy, you never play him. That makes sense.
Wait, he had a sack the other night. What quarter was it in? Was it in the last 2 minutes of the game?
No, it was
because that's prime Marcus Smith time.
No, it was when their other DM went down. It was like the second play after he went down, he got a
Right.
sack. Like literally went down. Smith came in. 2 plays later, got a sack.
Good for
And
him.
I was like, oh, look at Marcus.
Hope he got a video on it. Good for him.
Hey, I feel like the Birds gave up on him too early.
No,
but I'm not
didn't.
complaining.
But no, it just goes to the same Derek Barnett thought process in my eyes. Like you draft a guy, as a DN, to play DN in this league. There's not that learning curve. It's a go get it. It's pin ears, go get it, and give these guys a chance to learn. Like when I go and draft Derek Barnett and I'm a top 15 pick in this league, I don't have the luxury of putting my nose like that. I won a Super Bowl and this guy can't play day one for me. That's my biggest concern. They did the same thing with Marcus Smith. It was, this, that, and the third. Struggles with this practice. Just let the guy go play. He's an athlete. Let him be an athlete for a minute and see what he has instead of, it's the other regime. I don't like that. That's something like Howie Wise that I don't like. Him and Chip, had that thing like, I don't want Chip. I don't want Howie guys. I don't want Chip guys. And it, and we see where we're at now. I'm fine with it. I'm okay with, after Barnett saying, okay, Marcus, the experiment's over, whatever. But then you're not doing the same thing with the other guy. Now you're putting the same thing with this kid. This kid, what's his MO? Go get it. What did he do in Tennessee? He went and got it. Let him go get it. Why the baby? Why the training wheels with all this stuff? That's what drives me insane. But I'm okay with Smith being gone. And it's not the end of the world. I just think it's funny that we're doing the same thing again. Vic wanted to know my 3 for both. I told him I said it on the show. He must have missed it, so I'll hit him again. NFC was Detroit, Green Bay, Philly, and AFC was New England, Denver,
and Chiefs.
All right.
We all got an opinion, like assholes. Daniel Bakley, Sanchez is on the Bears.
The Bears.
Yep.
The Bears. Vic, Russell Wilson needs to run more. I don't disagree with that at all. He's got to make plays with his feet. That's the only chance they have to win. Mm-hmm. It really is. Yep. But it's the old 5 thing here in Philly later on to the end of the career where the running stopped. And it was almost like agents and people inside your head, you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to run the football. Make plays in the pocket. And he did a great job making plays in the pocket. Don't get me wrong. But you took away one of the biggest assets that he brought to the table was the ability to make plays with his feet.
Sure.
And I think when you take that away from these guys, that's what they're used to doing, and that's what got them there, that you can't do that. You can't make him just stay in the pocket. Let him go. And I don't know if that's the case, but if that's what it looks like that Sierra's talking. Yeah. Got 2 kids at home. All right? Stay in the pocket. One's not yours, and that's fine. And sorry, who's the rapper to beef with? Who's the rapper that she used the kids with?
Rob Povey chiming in from the other side of the glass.
We're not hip. Right?
Flyers game, 5 minutes in. Flyers looking fast and good, minus a miscue by Elliott.
Yeah, throw me that remote up there. Is
It's
there a remote up there?
First period of the first game.
We're crowning, Mike. We're here to crown.
Oh, my God.
Oh, great hand.
Yeah, but
G starting on the wing with
do that
Chris and
again.
Voracek.
You know what? I don't feel good about that.
I'm waiting for the one that
for days and
they've seen the Flyers in the first period and they think they're going to be a 2 seed. I'm waiting for that one.
That doesn't happen in this station.
Man.
That absolutely doesn't happen here.
Oh, I hope
not. But I actually do think it's encouraging when they start a West Coast game and they actually look fast, because those Western Conference teams usually skate circles around them.
But they've been there for 2 days now. So
True.
It doesn't matter for the travel.
Yeah, just hit the OK on there, on the remote.
Listen, I'm a Flyers fan. I hope they do well this year. I think it's going to be a process.
Well, Brian's trying to kibosh it because he's a Rangers fan. I see what he's doing over there. You don't want no.
They're not on tonight, so he's fine with that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, of course you can't find it. It says it right there, and he can't find it. Nope. All right, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah. I don't know.
That should work.
There we go.
There
Atta boy.
We're golden. Thanks, Bri.
Thanks,
All
Vinny.
right.
Vinny Matson, Evolution, IPTV, Tom, special events. I guess he's talking about getting the game on the Stream Smart. I think we got it.
We got it.
I got to talk to you, though, Vinny, because I got some questions with the Stream Smart, some things I need to figure out NFL-wise. I had a little trouble NFL finding the right sports packages to use. So that's like the little trick about it is making sure you have the right add-ons, the right things, and you get everything.
Got to have the right equipment.
Yep, and you get everything on the Stream Smart. It's ridiculous. You say, we're swinging through. You don't get rid of the cable, dude. You got to keep the internet, obviously, to run the Stream Smart, but get rid of the boxes. See you later, boxes. And tell your ladies out there, boom, they're watching stuff like this. And then you get some action because now they're not taking so much time up on the show, right? Maybe you get some. I'm not promising you nothing. I'm not here to make promises to the people.
I'm going home, then I'm getting rid of the boxes. I'm going home right now. I'm out of here. See you guys. I'm getting the boxes out of my house.
Just throw them out the window.
I'm going to throw them
every box is in.
My wife's going to be like, "What TVs don't work?" I was telling them, "Don't worry about it."
Well, you know what? If we're going to hockey, you're out anyway. Get out of here. Get out. Brian, get back in here.
Brian.
Alex Ocasio liked quote, "I got hands for days, I can't drop that." You picked up on that. I was hoping somebody did. Guy's better than that.
Nice.
Make the easy catch. I'm not Torrey Smith.
It's just
out
a
here.
remote.
Yeah.
But the point is, I can't go out crushing guys for bad hands, and I'm trying to do a no-look with a remote, getting cute. Yeah, Vinny said text me anytime. Drop the link in, Vin, so we can get these guys set up here.
All right, we're gonna roll out here to NHL. We're gonna get Brian in here.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break. Come back. We'll talk Flyers while Flyers are on. Give some reaction. We'll crush the Rangers and whatever else we feel the need to do.
I will be back.
Mike, you're the man. Tell everybody where they can get you again.
The Sports Box, YouTube and Twitter and Facebook at Sports Box Show.
From what the feel is, he's the big dog on the show, so we'll bring back in the sidekick.
I'm the president. I'm the president and CEO, but Brian's just as good. He's if not better.
I'm just messing with Brian. I got to bring you some heat when he's coming on the Rangers. We're talking Flyers. I can't let the guy off the hook. Gee, I wouldn't be doing my job.
Brian is just as good as I am.
I may have to lean towards Brian on this one.
Wow.
I'm leaning.
When Brian comes back in the seat, I'll be leaning to him.
I used to like Mike too. Not anymore.
This is Tom,
Mike,
AM
in the PA.
HUDRadio.com. We'll be back. Flyers talk, more Eagles talk if you want to talk about it. Anything you want. For the fan, by the fan, no agenda radio. Again, we don't care about access. We care about what the people want. This segment was brought to you by Soap Stash LLC, the new soap standard. Find them on the web, soapstash.com, or right on Facebook, Soap Stash LLC. And, of course, our certified public accountant, our show sponsor, Gibson Mayer LLC. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the worldwide leader of real talk, A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Do you need to get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM and the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, on A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, here on A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. 215-369-3300. Or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com. Welcome back, Tom. AM.
In the PM.
A2DRadio.com. Live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. BMW of Atlantic City. We're up exit 17 in the Parkway. Find them online. BMW of Atlantic City.com. Every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Gibson Mayer, LLC. Find them on the web. GibsonMayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwakovic, Brian Attard, Rob Povey on the ones and twos. Started to show off some Phillies talk. Who will be the next manager of the Philadelphia Phillies in 2018? We got some guys on the list up there. Got a chance to throw another in. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. We talked Eagles. Talked a 3-1 start. Talked some positives. Greg found some negatives. And we previewed the...
Did you put that on him, Ricky Bobby?
We previewed the Cardinals game. Greg actually had them winning. So they're probably going to lose this week. Hate to break that news to the public.
Well, yeah, because I had them losing last week.
Don't you do this to us.
Greg is the new mush.
Yeah, he is the mush. So now we're going to get in a little Flyers talk, a little Sixers talk. We'll start with the Fly guys, up 2-0 here against San Jose. About 3 minutes to go in the first. It is what it is. I mean, you guys can dive into it. It's going to be one of these years where, in my opinion, you want to get a real good look at a lot of these kids, sort of find out what you have as a hockey team. And, it's the NHL. Can they make the playoffs? Sure. Just the way the NHL works, year to year. But it is a look. Does Ghost, did he get better than he was last year? Does he progress more than he did? Took a few steps back last year, a little bit of a sophomore slump. How does he get back? Konechny, these younger guys, what are they going to bring to the table? What's their development look like? Hextall, is he going to bring out more kids? Is he going to, it's just interesting to see how this all plays out. But again, another young team here in Philadelphia, and there's a goal for San Jose. So that was quick.
No, I like how you framed it up, though, because we were talking before we went on the air several hours ago that I like the way that Hextall has put this team together. They did what the Phillies didn't do, and they had the pups up from the beginning of the year. Problem is Hextall doesn't have enough of them in the lineup tonight. For me, if you're going to have them up, you might as well have them playing. And the fact that Moran is a scratch tonight, and as I guess Sanheim is a scratch tonight, they're going with Hag, who's dressed, and I'm fine with that. But they're going with Manning and McDonald back there instead of Moran and Sanheim. I don't get it. I mean, for me personally, I have them. I was doing a little math today. I got them 41, 30, and 11, 93 points. It's a 5-point improvement over last season, but I don't see him making the playoffs. I think 93 points has them finishing solidly in 9th in the conference. They missed the playoffs by a good 4 or 5 points. Can that change? Yeah, it can change. I think if the blue line kids are better than we think they're going to be, or better than they're showing, if Hackstall plays them, I think if they could settle on a number 1 goalie and that goaltender gets hot, my thought process on all this, we were talking about who's going to be their leading scorer, who's going to be their plus-minus guy, and who's going to emerge as their number 1 goalie. To me, I think the first 2 are no-brainers. For me, their leading scorer is Simmons. Their top plus-minus guy is Provorov. But who emerges as the number 1 goalie? I don't think they have a number 1 goalie emerge. I think Hackstall is sold on this 2-goalie system to the point that Steve Mason wouldn't come back here because he didn't want to play in a 2-goalie system. So if they finish with 41 wins, I could easily see it being 21 for Elliott and 20 for Neuwirth, or flip it, or something close. I think this team's still a year away. That's where I'm at.
It's like we talked about the end of the year with the Phillies, right? You want to see progression from the guys. You want to see what Nick Williams does after a slump. You want to see Aaron Nola continue to finish strong. That's kind of the way I look at this year with the Flyers. I want to see if Ghost can bounce back, like you mentioned. See if Provorov takes that next step to be that number 1 D guy. You know, see what Konecny does again another year. Same thing with Wheel. These young guys, the guys that have been up. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the Nolan Patricks
and the Moran
and the young D guys yet, because this is their first glimpse. I'm going to put the pressure on the guys that have been here. I want to see what Giroux does on the wing. See if that opens him up now. You know, Cooch stepping up to the first line center. Those are the guys that I'm looking for to have progression, or the true veterans to have breakout years, to say. You know, because then if that happens, if Giroux gets back to being Giroux, if Cooch has some sort of an amazing season as the number 1 center, well, then that top line is ridiculous with Jake on the other side. And if that's the case, then this team is a little bit better than about the 90, 95-point team that I think a lot of us probably have them as.
I got to interrupt you guys for a second. I just got the alert on my phone that this is how crazy this NL wildcard game is right now. Arizona reliever Archie Bradley hits a 2-run triple. And then in the next half inning, Nolan Arenado and Trevor Story go back-to-back. Right now, it's Arizona 8, Colorado 7 in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Wow.
Well, that's what them 2 teams do.
Well, that's playoff baseball, though,
they
there.
launch.
That's playoff baseball.
Archie Bradley with a 2-run triple.
Great beer game.
Oh, no question.
Bob Hartman, similar thing with you, Greg. I'm interested to see
Bob agrees with me?
I'm interested to see how long Giroux plays the wing, along how Ghost bounces back and Provorov's progressions. I'm a big Provorov fan. So, I guess San Jose's scored again because it's got another fuck from Bob Hartman. That's 2 of them. The first one came after the 1 goal. So, goal right here.
Yep.
2 kills. Thanks, Bobby. Thanks, Bob. The F-bomb gives it away. I love it. That's twice he's went boom, boom, and it's been goal, goal. Consistent, Bobby.
No, but Bob, I agree. Obviously, Bob, good job.
Well, here's the thing with the Flyers. I mean, I think that what their management did from the trading deadline last year through the offseason tells you a little bit about where they think they are. And look at the 2 trades that they made. So they ended up getting Phil Pula out of Tampa. They basically get a 4th-round pick to give Tampa that cap space Tampa desperately needed. So you're taking on a bad contract and you're getting cap space as compensation.
Right.
That's fine. Same thing with the Shen deal. So they sent Shen, who's a young player, still makes a little bit of money, to St. Louis. They end up taking the Laterra contract back again. Not ideal. Makes like $4-something million. They end up getting a 1st-round pick back. So to them, I don't feel that their actions indicate that they think they're there yet. And you said you think they're about a year away. My problem with that is they don't have a goalie. They think that they do in the system, and maybe they do, and hopefully for them that they do.
No, they actually have 4 in the system.
Well, yeah,
they if you have 4, you don't have 1.
Which is the same reason if you have 2, you don't have 1.
Right.
And you look at what Dallas did a couple years ago, too. Like, they don't just have a goaltender, and really if you have 2, you don't have any. So I don't think that they think they're going to be that competitive this year.
Robbie, ping me that. Go ahead.
For me, I mean, you talk about their leading scorer. I think it has to be Voracek, or this is really going to go off the rails pretty quickly. He's their most talented player, I think, pretty handily. So he better earn up to that contract, frankly.
No, he's got to score. He's here to score goals.
Absolutely.
That's
his
simple.
name. It's his name.
That's simple.
Score a check.
Score
right?
check.
You know, and listen, a lot of onus is on the C.
Yeah.
Okay, great. He scored a goal tonight. I get all that stuff, okay? But I'll rip that goddamn C off real quick because that's earned. That's not given, and it
Right.
felt like it was given here. Really, I mean, it felt like it was just given to him.
Yeah.
And not everybody not everybody lives up to that C pressure. And listen, he's a great locker room guy, all right? The players on this team love him. I'm not taking any of that away from him. My point is that it was given. It wasn't never earned by him. Because he was the best player out of what at the time? He was young, it's the time to give him. The captain of this team is Wayne Simmons. I mean, that's not even a debate. That's not even a question. He should wear the C. That's a guy who the pressure's not going to be too much for. I always thought that if you just gave Giroux the A, took the C away, took that little bit of mental pressure away, he'd be more the player that we think he can be and more the distributor and the playmaker that we know he can be. I think that's affected him a little bit. Hopefully on the wing can relax him a little bit, okay, and allow his skill set with a guy who can move without the puck, who can skate well, right? And hopefully that helps his skill set a little bit. And it takes a little pressure away from having two C's, center, captain.
And Tommy, to your point, I mean, they did the same thing with Mike Richards. And I mean, Mike Richards, everyone said, as Richards was coming up, oh, he's a future center, he's a future center, or future captain. So then they gave it to him. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily think he had earned it yet at the time they gave it to him. And then when they traded him, then they had to replace him. So it was just, who's next in line? Oh, give it to Claude. Whereas, to your point, I completely agree with you. Captain of this team is Wayne Simmons. It's just not even a question.
As far as Giroux goes, and I mentioned it in the chat last week, I don't think anybody in the league that wears that C is weighed down more by it than Claude Giroux. I don't think he ever grew into that role the way they thought that he would. And to be bluntly honest with you, I think that when this team really is in that true contention mode, and that could be 3, 4, 5 years, we don't really know, I don't think he's part of that equation. And again, as a Rangers fan looking into the Flyers, and obviously I live here, so I know about it, I think of all their guys, he's the one that you really got to look at what you can extract value out of him now. Because, again, if Carter Hart pans out.
That's actually Rob's guy, by the way.
Yeah,
Carter
no,
Hart,
and I think of all of them, I think he's the one that has the biggest shot.
Right.
Fast forward this thing 3-4 years. Let's say it's his third year, whatever it is. I don't think Giroux at 32 years old is going to A, be worth that contract, and B, be a really big part of this team. So to me, I just don't understand how they're not aggressively shopping him to get as much value out of him now as possible. As time goes on, his value to this team consistently decreases.
Or it goes up and you deal him this year. Or
if he waives his no trade.
Well, or he goes to the wing and, maybe gets some more goals and is more attractive to the teams than you can. But I'm in complete agreement that I would have traded Claude Giroux yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on Claude Giroux. That's a team that's, again, not really ready to win right this second and get back what you can get back for him because he's not in the future of this organization.
Is Claude Giroux our Cole Hamels?
Well, that's exactly it.
There
That's
you go.
where I was going. He's your Cole Hamels. He's your by the time this team is good, sorry, but you're wasted right now. Mm-hmm. So let's see and as we know, the Phillies did real well with that trade.
No, they did.
Another thing too, you mentioned earlier today the Phillies have a couple of guys that they're not untouchable, but in the right deal they would be moved. And given the fact that the Flyers have placed such an emphasis on drafting defensemen, and they have a great set. If these guys pan out, they're really, really in good shape. I just don't know that it didn't make sense with a guy like Gossesbear to say, hey, this guy came out of nowhere to be a really, really good player. Do we help our forwards, in a big way and move my young guy just for fit? Because they had so many defensemen. I mean, there's only 6 spots. At some point, like with the Phillies, you're going to have to move one of these guys or else there's going to be wasted in your minor system. What's the point?
Right.
So, I don't know. There was some talk of possibly a rumor back when of Drouin for Gossesbear. I think it would help the Flyers immensely if they went that direction.
Anything is possible. I mean, I love Ghost, but to me, he's not an untouchable.
Yeah.
For me, on the blue line, I'm not moving Provorov, I'm not moving Moran, and I'm not moving Sanheim. For the right deal, I'd move Ghost. And I love the kid, but he's not an untouchable. Rob actually hit me up with the sort of along the same lines of what you were talking about, and move him the wing. We're talking about Giroux now. Move him the wing, get the scoring back up, showcase him a little bit, and then you could trade him as a wing or a center. You know, kind of hot-shotting the value this year, and I don't disagree with that.
And the worst thing that can happen to the Flyers is them being in contention early on.
Sure.
It really, if that's the direction you want to go, and
Right.
you know you want to move you want to move Giroux. You know, the worst thing, and it will tie their hands a little bit, is if they are really competitive
If they
early
start
on,
playing out of
and,
their
and they
minds.
are winning games early, and then it's like, well, how can we do that? You know, how
'Cause
can we
you
set
can't,
up?
yeah.
Then you can't. Then you can't sell it to your fans. So, you know, if Giroux's the guy you really want to move, the best hope for that is he does really well, but the team doesn't.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I sort of feel like if he does well and plays well, this team's going to play better. I just think it's going to go hand in hand to a point. Jeremy said he's back. He had to get a hot pocket.
Water is wet, you know.
And he said Ranger. He said Rangers killing it.
That's me.
Hockey is his thing. So he gave you,
I
you took a
appreciate
jab,
that,
and then
man.
he gave you a compliment.
Me and Jeremy have a love-hate relationship, so it's fun.
Bob Hartman, what's with these home and away alternate captains? Alternate captains, sorry. I'm tired.
Because the team voted, and apparently they were split right down the middle on whether it should have been McDonald or Philippa.
Maybe the Russians hacked that one.
So
too.
they split it home versus away.
Well, obviously they didn't hack it good enough.
And it's only the second assistant. I mean, Giroux is the captain, Simmons is the first assistant. Those guys aren't getting touched. It's just the other one where they're alternating home and away.
You had asked about the goaltending. They don't have a 1A, 1E. They have a 2A and a 2B, and that's the problem until they get a guy to be a solid number one for them. Who becomes the number? I don't think anybody does, and I think you're exactly right. I think it's going to be a pretty even split. The Brian Elliott signing to me is just I don't really understand it, only because, again, what does he bring to the table? I mean, you had a young kid in Stolars. I know he had an injury, but let the kid play. I mean, just as you said about the rest of the roster, see what you have. You may not be high on Stolars now, but if he comes up and plays well for you, maybe, again, this thing gets...
Well, and my theory on this, and we've talked about this off air many times in the past, and especially me with some of the guys on Hockey Happy Hour. I actually think the Flyers thought that there was a really good chance that when they extended Neuwirth that he was going to get taken in the expansion draft.
I agree with you entirely.
And
yes.
then that would have then opened the door for them to bring back Steve Mason probably as their quote-unquote number one, which is what he wanted, on a one-year deal. Then you could see what you have with in Stolars as the backup. All the while you're giving Carter Hart, Alex Lyon, Felix Sandstrom more time to mature. And I think that Hextall actually got beat on that one because they re-signed Neuwirth, and then Las Vegas wanted nothing to do with them.
Sure.
So I think Hexy lost that one. That was a gamble, and he lost it.
And we lose out on the great nickname. I mean, Stoley the goalie is
Yeah.
just phenomenal. And this would have been so great to have.
Bob Hartman, Elliott was the Western Conference version of Steve Mason.
That's a pretty good,
Yep.
He's been around the block,
Well, Rob and I actually had the discussion right around the time where they signed him, where my question was, if you're going to sign Elliott, why don't you just bring back Mason? And Rob looked at the numbers, and I mean, Elliott's probably a little better, but the similarities were scary. I mean, you're talking record, goals against, save percentage, everything. Like, you could literally spit one direction or the other, and they're the same guy.
Well, most recently, I think Elliott's played in St. Louis and Calgary. I mean, those are two of the better defensive teams in the Western Conference, so I don't necessarily know how much of that is what's around him versus what he was able to do himself. And, right now, again, I agree with the Flyers playing kids. I should probably play them more often. But I don't know that you can count on kids to play solid defense in front of a guy like that.
Meanwhile, Steve Mason gave up 5 goals on 20 shots tonight.
He did. Toronto lit them up.
Vinny Massington, and I usually agree with Vinny on everything, I mean, this is something we do. Like, we usually are in agreement with a lot of
Me
things.
and you don't agree on anything. You and Vinny agree on everything.
Yeah, and this might be the first time I might not completely agree with him. He says, you know, he makes the point that Drew will have value to a contender. I agree there. Dude is one of the top playmakers in the league and an awesome on the power play. I'll cut that in half. He is awesome on the power play. I don't know if I'm going to say he's one of the top playmakers in the league. He goes on to say if he gets alongside a scorer, he'll set him up. Well, who's Jake Voracek?
Yeah, really.
I mean that's a guy who's a scorer, and them two, neither one have lived up to expectations on that end.
Right.
So that goes hand in hand to them guys, in my opinion. And he said he's never had a goal scorer to play with. Well, that's Jake. And my response was both him and Jake have underachieved. And he said Jake has. Drew puts up points in the regular season and postseason. Always at top 5-10 in the NHL in power play points. He's a playmaker. He said no one to make plays. Well, if you're wearing a C and you're the best player on the team, you make everybody around you better. So that's why I deal that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
But even if that is all true, right? What's to say that as to your point and to the Cole Hamels point, why is he not touchable? Right? If this team is not going to compete for another year, 2, 3 years, he's going to be a waste.
Well, he has a no-trade clause, but his contract itself is a no-trade clause. He's getting paid over $8 million a year. Even if a team like Montreal really wants him for a lot of reasons, that's a lot of money for any team to take onto their roster without the Flyers taking a bad contract back, which that might be part of what would fit. Is if they take a bad 1 or 2 year deal, maybe even like a Thomas Plekanec, for example. Like, that makes some sense to me. And there was some spec. Could they go get an Alex Galchenyuk? Wouldn't he look great in orange and black? To get a guy like Giroux out the door, get a young kid like Galchenyuk in, you could play center, play wing, play whatever. Even if you take Plekanec back, who cares? Just like Filppula and just like Laterra, the money goes away eventually, and you got a great asset. So, I don't know. For me, a lot of these people who... I'm less bullish than you, not because I'm a Rangers fan, just because I just don't like the way their roster is currently constructed, only because the kids will be good eventually. That's not right now, especially on defense. I don't think they're going to have to win a lottery this year to get a very high pick. I think they're one of the bottom 4 teams in the conference, and it isn't really a shot at them. They're in an extremely loaded division.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 4 of the top 6 teams last year came out of the Metro. So, Pittsburgh, Washington, Columbus, the Rangers, an improved Carolina team. The Islanders are there. I mean, the only team I think they're better than is the Devils, which everybody is. So it's not a great accomplishment.
Not tough.
But again, I think I go back to if you're not going to win, lose. I don't think it benefits this team to make the playoffs, and I have a pretty strong case why. The year the Flyers played Washington in the first round, they snuck in. And then they got beat by a better team. Well, because they snuck into the playoffs, their first-round pick dropped from 14 to 18, just for getting in there and losing.
Right.
In that draft, they then traded down with, I want to say, Winnipeg from 18 to 22. The vig on that was a second-round pick. I'm going to extrapolate that. So that first-round series loss, they shouldn't really have been there, cost them the value of a second-round pick.
Right.
And that would help a team that's rebuilding. I mean, that's really helpful. So, I don't know. To me, I don't think it helped them to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be that close.
But and to your point, though, because then you look at what happened this past year, they didn't make the playoffs.
Absolutely.
They get the second pick in the lottery, but then they have all of this other maneuverability that they then have where they can get back into the first round, they can get an early second rounder, and they can start wheeling and dealing specifically because they're not in the playoffs. But I want to go back to Giroux for a second.
I just want to hit you guys with devil's advocate with that real fast. It's a young hockey team. Right? So, I mean, any chance to taste the dance is only going to help them improve. That's facts. Right. You don't have to agree with that at all.
I understand.
But that's mental facts of the game. Again, I say it all the time. It's not a video game situation where it's not the mental side is so much bigger than matters. I get it. What you're saying is spot freaking on. I'm not disagreeing with any of that. But this is a young hockey team.
Right.
That team then wasn't as young as a hockey team. They snuck in smoke and mirrors, older team in a way. Not older, but really not any young, significant talent, right? This team has young talent. So when I'm about growth and getting better, like for the Eagles this year, if you get in the dance and you get beat, so what? You tasted it. So if you get in and you drop 4 picks in the draft, okay, if you're already drafting at 14 anyway, around that area, you ain't landing a pup. Essentially, like you're not. It's not the difference of like if you're going to be the worst, then be the worst, and I want one or two. But if you're going to be in the middle of the pack anyway,
you might as well make
it with a young team. That's all.
But to that point, and to the point you made, is they didn't miss the playoffs. They didn't miss it by a whole lot this year, and then they won the lottery, got the second pick.
True.
Yeah.
You can't win the lottery if you're in the playoffs.
Their lottery system's a little different than the NBA, and in terms of like having to be that the worst three teams to be able to get in the mix. Yeah, and I'm not as well read on the NHL lottery as you would be, and you would be. It's just I can only keep up with so many, Daddy. You know what I mean?
I got a question for all of you guys though, and I'm not a Giroux hater by any means. I mean he's one of my favorite Flyers and has been for a few years, but I do understand your point exactly. But I will say this, or I will put it in the form of a question. Has there been another athlete in this town specifically that has been more of a made man based on one game in his career than Claude Giroux?
In terms of like crown?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no question. But that's Flyers.
Not even one game. One shift.
No, that's Flyers.
Yeah.
That's Flyers diehard MO right there. That's the MO.
It's like, I'm going to go kill Sidney Crosby, score a goal, and I'm a made man. I'm done.
Now
I'm
I
done.
Bullies never die.
I don't think he needed
I wish
it.
they would.
But I vividly remember this one shift, and I don't even know if it was preseason or not, but Lindros made a strong move to the net against the Devils and scored this goal with this big, hug everybody. So I think that was like his coming out type moment. Eric didn't need it. Eric was number one pick in the draft. But I agree with you. Yeah, he's lived off of the fumes of that moment for a while.
For a long time.
Yeah. Because everybody hates Pittsburgh and what that represented. I get it.
Well, they hate Pittsburgh. They hate Crosby.
No, I also hate Pittsburgh. We're on the same page.
We agree.
But that was the red light. It was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally a Sunday afternoon, 1:00. Giroux says, "I want to start." He goes out, destroys Crosby, scores a goal, and bang. And he's a made man.
That's a great way to make friends and influence people in Philadelphia.
We got like 3 or 4 more comments here. Mikey Torres, could they possibly treating Stallers this way because he isn't a Hextall guy? Stallers has been pretty solid in his limited NHL career.
Stallers is injured, which is why he's not anywhere to be heard from right now.
Well, to a point, but I thought Sam Marin wasn't a Hextall guy either. He was like the last guy that Holmgren took, like that was his guy. So I always thought that if they ever moved one of these guys, Hextall would lean towards moving Moran, but he hasn't. So I don't necessarily know that, because Hextall was still in the decision-making process.
Vinny Masson is Mr. G'd up, but before we get to Mr. G'd up, this is a good question. Who has a better career, Nico or Nolan? And that's Bobby Hartman.
Well, the difference is going to be people are going to watch Nolan Patrick's career. No one's going to see what Nico Hischier does because nobody goes to those games unless they're hosting the Rangers. So, flat out.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's the truth.
Vinny Masson in one game, question mark? 2010 through 2016, most points in the NHL. More than every player in the NHL. You don't put up those numbers and be a no one.
That just tells me they missed an opportunity to trade him. Sell high, man.
Yeah, but Vinny, you're missing the point here, though. I'm not ragging on Giroux's ability at all, and I'm not saying he hasn't been a great player. What I'm saying is, has there been any player in this city who's been more of a made man based on one moment? Regardless of what the stats are, he was a made man in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Listen, let's clarify this. G has talent.
Oh, he does.
And nobody's going to sit here and say he doesn't. And Brian said it perfectly. I've said it for 2-3 years now. And you said it. The C is no player more in the NHL than way down by the sea. And I quote, than Claude Giroux. I completely agree with that statement. I've been saying it for years ad nauseum. Take the C away from him, not as a punishment, man, and let the dude relax and play the game. Okay?
Be free.
In 2010, was he the captain? When did he take over being the captain?
I think he took it after they traded Carter and Richards, right?
So what year would that be where he took over to C?
12?
12, yeah.
That's 2 years in them points that were the most in the NHL. I would love to see. I want to see 2010, 11, and 12. I want to see them numbers because I will promise you, I don't even got to look at it. I know them numbers are better than 13, 14, 15, 16 on.
But to that point, too, he had more around him. He wasn't relied on to be the leader at that point. Because, again, he was behind a great draft.
You're laughing because this comment in this game.
Vinny again.
But
No, Ralphie.
I saw that.
Ralphie goes, I'll trade him after the game tonight.
and no one's saying that the Flyers are going to be a better team this year when you trade them.
Right.
I mean, they're going to be worse because he is good.
But it's not about- it's not about this
But you're
year.
right. It's not about that. It's about getting what you can
For him right
for
now.
him right now.
So, Vinny should cut and copy, send the Hexty, and let him send over them. Vinny's selling points to some GMs around the league, and let's get this guy out of town.
Vinny
And not in a bad way.
will sell you oceanfront property in Iowa and not think twice about it.
Getting back to that Moran being a Hextall or not being a Hexy guy, I would think Hexy coming from the Dean Lombardi GM school wouldn't be hung up in the my guy versus the old guy.
Well, that's what smart guys do. They don't get hung up.
And that's what Dean and the Kings had built when they were back to back, not necessarily back to back champs, but I think they might have been.
So 2012 they beat the Devils.
It was 2 out of 3.
2014,
But I'm saying they were
vividly.
there.
Right.
They were there.
Yeah, they were in the mix.
They were
Yeah.
there for a while, and you're right. A smart hockey guy doesn't play favorites, my guy versus your guy. You're either good or you're not good. You either can do it or you can't do it.
Well, and here's where I'll go with Moran. I'll borrow one of my favorite Jimmy Lynam lines on this one. Got size.
Can't
and he
teach
can't teach
size.
size.
No, I went to the preseason game where they played the Rangers,
Right.
and this idiot from New York who didn't make the team, he's like 5'0". He's fighting Andre the Giant. Like, what the hell are you doing? This is just stupid.
Right.
This is probably why you should not make the team, because you can't make a good judgment.
And not fight. Yeah, Andre the Giant.
So,
Vinny agrees now.
all right.
But
So
then he's
we,
on the downside. He agrees that he's on the
all right.
downside.
So we got like 10 minutes left. Are we all in agreement that they're not making the playoffs?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you don't want them to.
No, you don't. You don't.
Yeah.
So
And I'll give you a hot take.
Stanley
here.
Cup or bust.
You're going to disagree with me.
go ahead.
But talk about their most valuable asset that they could really get the most out of.
Okay.
If I'm Hextall, and that's my MO, I'm trying to get as much future assets as possible. I'm calling a cap-strapped team, whether it be Chicago, one of these powerhouses that are like right there to try to win something. I'm going to say, hey, listen, I have Wayne Simmons here. Wayne Simmons makes $3.8 million. I'll trade him to you for 50% retained. He'll cost you less than $2 million. Bowl me over. And for a team that's up against the cap but contending, you get a guy like that for less than $2 million.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's Hinkie-esque.
It's picks. It's youth. The Rangers got Keith Yandel for 50% retained.
Right.
And they gave him Anthony Duclair. They gave him a first, a second. I mean, they really went up because there's a value to that.
Oh, it's not even a question.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of, like we're talking about, is Claude Giroux your Cole Hamels? And the answer to that is yeah. But does he hold the most value on this team? No, absolutely not.
Simmons with the contract,
You are 100% correct. It's Wayne Simmons.
Sam Nelson. Pronger took the C after Richards was traded. Drew took it after
Okay.
Pronger retired.
Pronger, okay.
Fair enough.
And
How quickly do we forget Chris
Jeremy
Pronger?
Biewen lose out.
He's still in
get
the dark
picks.
room.
So you want to switch over to the Sixers real quick?
Because he's still in a dark room.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Because, I mean,
Pronger can't see straight.
Sixers is two simple questions.
Shoot.
Mike, you want to tag in, talk a little Sixers?
All right, boys. Switch it up.
Guys, at Sportsbox Show, Twitter and Facebook. Check us out. Here's
Yeah,
Mike.
What are they going to plug every time they switch off?
I guess that's how we're rolling.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Every time they tag.
Move your meat, watch your feet.
Tag team.
Now, Brian, that was good stuff. Thanks, Brian.
Brian, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Bri.
Oh, hey, guys.
Mike's back.
Mike.
Great
Hi,
hockey.
Mike.
Great hockey.
Hey,
knowledge.
guys, did I mention I work for the Sports Box?
No.
You son of a...
Where the only opinion that matters is right here. Sorry, I'm just working at it a little bit. Sorry.
Son of a bitch.
So, Sixers, most valuable and most irreplaceable. Are they the same guy, yes or no? And if not, who are they?
Most valuable and most.
Irreplaceable.
No, they're not the same guy.
Listen, they were until I saw something tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, because my
you're
guy,
damn right.
my guy, who I wanted over D'Angelo Russell, who can flat out drop you 20 in the paint whenever he freaking wants to, cut down, trim down, and can flat out now close out defensively, can run quicker, his agility's faster. I get to see that with my eyes that quick. Jahlil Okafor's here to play, and he's here to get paid. And when guys got that up against them, good things are going to happen. So let me tell you something,
And he
JoJo.
can always flat out score.
And I hate to do this because the people out there are not going to like this. Watch your back, Joe. That's all I got to say because you better come play now. You can't sit out.
No, you're right.
Because I don't care. You can lose your job real quick. Okay? And I'm not saying Jahlil Okafor, it's a top 3 pick, man. This ain't a crumb. This is a guy who won a national championship. I understand talent-wise, he's not Joel Embiid. That's facts. I get that. Joel Embiid's the kind of guy who can put you on Broad and Patterson if he's healthy tomorrow. Because he's a game changer. He's something this league doesn't have right now. In terms of a guy who can do it all with that kind of size. And the effort and the energy he brings and everything that comes with that. My point is, it wasn't until what I saw tonight. They were the same guy. Well, after I saw tonight, he's not the most. He's not irreplaceable. He's not irreplaceable. Yeah.
Well, not that I.
I don't know what the heck I'm talking about anymore.
No, you're there. You're right there.
And not that my thought of keeping Okafor over Noel obviously had this in mind, but it just goes to show when you have a guy that could score the ball in this league, you don't give up on him just because he doesn't play defense. You know what I mean? Because he's a bit lazy. Because the dude can drop points on the block. They're not the same. Most important is Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm. You mean most irreplaceable?
Most irreplaceable is Ben Simmons. What was the other one?
Most valuable.
Most valuable is JoJo.
Yeah, most valuable.
Just because exactly what Tom said. JoJo will put you on Broad and Patterson if he's healthy. But this is an outside game. So if you have to take a step back, and it's not even a big step anymore, to an Okafor, to a Holmes, to a Namir Johnson, you're okay because you have the outside.
I think the bigger question is going to be that, you do have two guys that can play. Okay, you roll the dice, you're going to keep Embiid, you're going to get rid of Okafor. Well, at the end of this year, you got to re-sign Embiid. Do you want to give him a lot of money for the track record he has here?
That's a great question.
That's a hell of a gamble you're taking there. But in the same sense, they're both playing the same way. You've set your bet, I think, with Embiid. You got to roll the dice and get rid of Okafor and get something good for him. You better not get weak on him. You better get a lot for him.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't even question moving him after what I saw.
You
tonight,
have to.
After what I saw tonight, after I saw a guy trim down, put the work in the offseason, that's a guy I want to keep around. That's a guy who showed me he's willing to work. He's willing to put the work in to become a better NBA basketball player. And listen, these guys are all young when they come out of college.
That's what I'm saying.
They're all babies.
He was an 18-year-old.
Yeah. Okay, he drove fast. He punched his Celtics fan in the face. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, somebody did. Okay? I think he's got a raw deal here. He really has. And listen, JoJo comes with a lot. So, of course, we're going to overlook Okafor. And he's been the guy overlooked from day one.
Right.
It was always Oak out, not Noel, not JoJo. Listen, I keep both of them. You can win this league. Listen, this is simple. You win this league inside out. I don't care what the Warriors do and other crazy teams do. The percentage is, and this is where the analytics can come in basketball, it's a higher percentage shooting inside consistently. Okay? And I thought that was Hinkie's plan and MO from day one was that, watch, we're going to go back to some old school shit.
Can never have too many
We're going to
bigs.
get inside out, and we're going to beat you down low. And this is what it's built to do. Now, Rashawn Holmes is a guy to me. He's an athlete. He can do some things.
He's a good backup.
Yeah, he's not a starter in this league.
Right.
Now, with Okafor and Embiid, you have two different guys who can start, and it can really now help JoJo in terms of not saying playing back-to-backs, because to me, he's got to play back-to-backs. That's not even a question. But it's limiting them minutes, which I don't want him on a minute restriction, but Okafor tonight allows me to say in my head that, okay, I'm okay if JoJo doesn't play 38 and he plays 30. Because what I saw tonight is a guy who's ready to go.
Right.
But Ben Simmons, to me, is the most irreplaceable at this point.
Well, Tom, go.
Go ahead.
That was what was the two?
Most valuable and most irreplaceable.
Yeah, I mean JoJo's obviously the most valuable,
right?
From the little bit we've seen of him, but that's who Ben is. I mean, Ben's a playmaker. He's a game changer. He's a guy who can do everything. I mean, he's a special talent, and I don't think health is really ever an issue for him like it's been for Embiid. Being a 7-footer and feet are just always scary combo. That's why I hold on to Oak real tight.
Yeah.
Because now, the Sixers are showing they hold all the leverage, and that's why his agent is keeping him out of 5-on-5 contact drills, because he knows he needs to get to that mark, that date at the end of October when he can re-sign and consider coming in for that max deal. So until that point, at first it was a worry that, are we hiding injuries again?
No.
Are we doing this? But JoJo told you in his interview the best he could that this was on them. And he pretty much came out and said the Sixers hold the leverage on me. So we're gonna hold a little bit we have back and make sure I don't get hurt before I can now re-up on a deal.
And as long as he's there day one, I'm good.
Yeah.
But Mike, I think we talked about it last week, would you give him 3 years, let's say 60?
See, that's the thing. If you hold on to Okafor, I'm okay with maybe holding on to Okafor, but at the end of the year, if you're going to decide to keep Okafor on this team, you're not signing Embiid. And Embiid has a little bit more upside than Okafor does. So it's a big gamble if you're going to roll the dice here. Like I said,
he's roll the dice with. Like, okay, you have the option of both. Embiid's track record with injuries. Who do you roll the dice
I
on?
kind of think if you're the Sixers, they've laid their tracks with Embiid. I mean, they're rolling the dice with him, and I think they're going to end up giving him that money. And if that's the case, then cut ties with Okafor now. Give him a chance to go play and get something for him. The problem
What
is,
do you need though?
Well, that's the thing. If you're going to get something for him, you got to get something good. But that's the thing. What do you get for him?
Right.
Or do you just hold on to him?
If you hold on to him, it could go the other way. You might not get anything for him, though, and he might walk.
Well, then you pay him too.
He's restricted before you can let him walk.
But my thing is, like, you go Twin
Towers. You can always match.
You go Twin
Right.
Towers.
Well,
Now you're really big on the court with Ben on the court.
Right.
I mean, if you run any kind of combos and M3 on the court at the same time, that's dangerous. We don't have a lot of room. I mean, honestly, can I take my guy who's irreplaceable off the table for a minute?
Only if you don't steal mine, but go ahead.
No, it's Dario. I mean, I can't believe I even forgot
You
about
stole
that.
it. You stole it, you bastard. I love it.
But you know
I love it.
I love my
I
man.
love it.
You love him. That's the guy, man. That's
I was
so-
going to say that the name that no one has mentioned is the horse.
He's special.
And that's Dario.
He's special. He's the guy that goes under the radar.
Yeah, he is the under-the-radar guy. He's the non-sexy name, but he's the horse. He's the glue that's going to hold this whole thing together.
The homie.
And the homie. And you watch as the season goes on, he's going to be their quote-unquote closer. He's going to be their fourth quarter shutdown defender, and he's going to be the guy that they go to late in games when they need a bucket.
Like, you know what he has when he brings to the table?
Cajones?
It's that X factor.
Yeah.
He's a physical guy. And, like, I heard people talking, through the all season, Covington's got to start over Dario. Are you crazy?
No.
Are you nuts? I don't care if he's long, athletic. I don't give a rat's ass. Dario's a starter on this.
Well, see, but that's the thing is,
what-
I like Dario coming off
That's
the bench.
exactly it.
Because
just to even it out.
Exactly.
Well, I'll give you another guy who's going to give you a little spark, and nobody's really talking about right now, but J.J. Redick off the bench. I mean, here's a
JJ
guy who's
starting.
you know what? To be honest, I'd like him off the bench. Give you a little jump. He's
You
getting a
don't
lot
pay-
of money.
You don't pay $23 million to come off
but
the
you
bench.
know what? Here's a guy who can come off the bench, give you a little spark, give you a little three-point action, and do his thing.
Well, that's what he does, but he's not coming off the bench.
Start over.
Right.
It's Fultz, Redick, Simmons, Embiid, and Covington.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You don't pay a guy $23 million. He is too valuable from a leadership standpoint and a shooter he need to be on that first team to spread the floor for those two guys. So JoJo can do whatever he's going to do. Ben can hit the gaps. Markelle can hit the gaps. And JJ's just sitting there saying, hey, guys, I'm here ready for you when you need me.
To Mike's point, though, JJ's past life.
He's not the 5-year player that J.J. Redick
Right,
was.
but here's the thing. In his past life, that was the perfect role for him. Come off the bench. You're a shooter. You're a scorer in key moments. Sixers paid a lot more to get a lot more from him. And at the start of the season, you have to go with that role where he's got to start at that 2-3 spot and see where it takes you. Now,
I think it's better coming off the bench with him, moving him forward, than starting him, it maybe not working out a little bit, and then getting to the bench and doing it the other way around.
Well, who's your starter then if he's on the bench?
Covington.
Yeah.
Well, he's already there.
Covington.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Anyway you slice it, this team's got to get chemistry first. I mean,
Yeah, and that's a good point.
You got two guys that never played NBA ball before, so Simmons and Fultz. I mean, they haven't stepped on an NBA game yet, so you guys see how they're going to play yet. It's all got to come together. We're all making these assumptions now. It's all got to come together.
One thing I wanted to go back to you, though, on the Okafor situation is, do you think there's any possibility that Jerry Colangelo went to him in the offseason and just said, look, man, you see the writing on the wall. We tried to move you last year, and nobody wanted you. You need to get yourself healthy. You need to get yourself in shape. And you need to show some things in training camp and early in the season, and we'll move you anywhere you want to go, but you got to help us move you to a situation where you can be re-signed.
I don't think you had to tell him that. I think he knew.
I think a version of that conversation happened. Yeah. I don't know if they necessarily went into help us help you move you. I think it may have just centered around you can be an asset to this team. you play a lot already because we know JoJo might not or whatever his history
May or
is.
may not, right.
So you're an asset to this team. We need the best Jaleel you can be. You know, whether you threw the caveat out there of I'll send you wherever you want to go, he could have. But I don't know if as a general manager, as much as I hate Colangelo and that last name, if he's going to totally sabotage himself by giving that carrot out there and saying, you know what I mean?
A point taken, but I have to wonder. I mean, because we were in a situation last year where they didn't take him on a road trip because they thought he was going to be moved, and I mean his name came up tied to 6 different teams last year.
Oh, yeah.
And then he never got traded. I have to think it's because they couldn't trade him. Go ahead, bring it.
I agree with some of it. I think when you get dogged for so much, you get said, hey, you're not coming with us on road trips. The fans are on you. You're a dog. You're a mutt. You're this. You're that. You know, I think at some point if you have something inside you that comes out and says, you know what? You know, I can't get by the way I got it done in college and the way I got it done before.
Yep.
You know, I got to get a little leaner. This game's quicker. You know, the game's gotten quicker over the years. I got to get quicker as a big man. You know what I mean? I got to be able to close out defensively on some of these 5s that can shoot the ball a little bit too. So I think all that played in. I think you take everything from agent talk to family friends talk to fans crushing him, which he obviously hears, to the media crushing him, which he obviously heard, to getting left out on road trips, to being talked in trade talks all the time. And I think he finally said, you know what? It's time to man up if I want to still play in this league, because obviously nobody wanted me.
Right.
And you know, the team I was on didn't really want me. So I think all that plays in a part, as a prove wrong type thing. And if that's the case, and that's the reason why he's trimmed up and looks a hell of a lot better and looks like the number 3 overall.
And I'm going to give you
Thank God.
another big question that's going to be answered this year for sure, is that this is the year you're going to see if Brett Brown can coach. Because for 6 or 7 years now, you said, well, he's had this, he hasn't had talent, he hasn't. Everybody's been giving Brett Brown the pass, and I'm not saying he's a bad coach at all. I think he's a good coach for this team. But this year, you are going to know what he's made of, because he's got the horses this year. He's got to be able to mold this team into something moving in the right direction. If it's not moving in the right direction, staying the same, you got a problem then. Then you got to make him either the scapegoat, or you got to put some blame on Brett Brown. Right. This guy's been getting a pass for a long time now.
No, he has. I've given him passes because everybody's argument is his calls out of timeouts.
Right.
And I just throw my hands up and I said, okay, you won't go back 4 years? Who's he calling a play for out of a goddamn timeout?
Right.
Tony Roden? You know what I mean?
And
so to your point, now this is the year
it's not even a 1 or 2 year pass like some people. It's been 5 or 6 years he's done this.
Yeah.
And everybody's been saying, oh, don't worry about it, he's fine. Well, this is the year, guys.
Yeah.
This is the year.
Now, we got breaking news out of Arizona.
Uh-oh.
Diamondbacks hit 4 triples, most in a postseason game in 114 years.
Wow.
Topped the Rockies 11-8 to advance.
Told
to
you.
the
High
NLDS.
score, wild card.
Put that money down on Arizona. They're winning it all.
I like him a lot.
Yep.
I do too.
Yep.
I do too. All right, boys. It's been fun.
It has been fun.
Yeah.
It's been a blast,
Thank
guys.
Mike.
Absolutely,
Appreciate it,
guys.
brother.
It's been
Appreciate it,
great,
brother. Great
man.
hockey. Great hockey talk.
Rags.
Felt like I got smarter in hockey.
Can you guys let me plug my show a little bit, or?
No,
you guys-
you're done. You're dead to me.
I was gonna.
Go ahead, do it one more time.
Absolutely, the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters is right here. Me and Brian, the Ranger Retard. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and
Get out of my shot.
YouTube.
And guess what?
At
Maybe-
Sports Box Show.
Maybe if these 2 guys are as smart as I think they are, maybe they're sitting right here sooner than later. So we'll talk.
We may be back,
We'll figure it out. But
and we're gonna kick some more ass when we come back.
listen, like to thank you all for listening. Love the comments. Help make the show. No Agenda Radio for you, by us. I like that one.
Three hours tonight with the comments. Love it.
Beautiful.
3 hours. We got to thank Soap Stash LLC, the new soap standard. Find them on the web, soapstash.com. We'd like to thank our certified public accountant, our Wednesday night show sponsor, Gibson Mayer LLC. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com. Who did I miss? BMW NXT. We've said them enough.
Scanzano Sports.
It's almost like a trade-off where we work, and then you give the guy a plug for giving you a couple extra lessons.
Brian, did we get? Okay, we did. I don't know.
Robbie, just mute his mic. He's done.
Per time or known, Michael Mataraki, Greg Milwakovich, Mike, Brian, and Rob Povia. This has been another edition of Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM.
ATDRadio.com. Thank you all for listening. What the hell is next? Agree, disagree. Sunday night, Eagles post game. Savage time. Eagles win. Patrick Peterson stinks. We
ya.
out. Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com.